Blink and you'll miss it. This year's Speed Chess season kicks off with the annual Bullet Chess Championship. 16 of the world's fastest players are fighting it out for $100,000 in the most exciting time control in chess.
Oh my goodness!
For Hikaru Nakamura, his 5th Bullet Chess Championship title feels almost inevitable.
This guy's just a beast.
For Firouzja, he's trying to recreate his flow from 2021.
This is the champion.
But in order to win, one must go through a gauntlet of the best players in the world. Get ready for time scrambles and death slams, brilliancies and blunders. Lock in, the Bullet Chess Championship fires off right now.
What's going on, folks? My name is Casa Corley, and I'm joined today by Grandmaster Benjamin Bach for a thrilling beginning to the Bullet Chess Championship for 2024. This event is going to be crazy. That if you have a need for speed, you're in the right place. And Benjamin, how are you doing today?
Hello, Casa. Hello, everyone. I could not be more excited to host the first day of the Bullet Chess Championship. It's going to be fast. It's going to be furious. And Casa, we have some very exciting matchups already in round number 1.
No question about it. Let's get to that bracket so folks can see what we're going to watch today. It's going to be incredible. We actually are going to go through all of the first 8 matches of the winners bracket today. And we're going to start with 4. Those 4 are going to be Nihal Sarin versus Fabiano Caruana, Andrew Tang versus Anish Giri, Danya, our very own Daniel Naroditsky versus Prague, and Bortnik versus Min Lei. You also see some of those other matchups on the screen. We're going to get to those as well, but we're going to start with those 4 matchups I just mentioned. Benjamin, which ones appeal to you?
Yeah, I think some matches might be a little bit one-sided, but some matches are going to be very, very close. I think definitely the matchup between Bortnik and Min Lei. I'd give a slight edge to Bortnik, but not by a whole lot. And for example, also Martinez against Sevian, I think really can go either way. So I could not be more excited, Casa.
Yeah, I honestly am not sure myself which way that's going to go. And I think a lot of these matches are going to, be quite close. So we'll see how that develops. They are going to be close. There are going to be some fun stuff going on. And with that, let's discuss the tournament format to get a sense of what that's going to look like. So there are 16 players competing, and the higher seed starts the white pieces. The thing to remember here is that we're working with double elimination. Some folks will be familiar with this already because we've been doing it for quite a while now on the Champions Chess Tour. And that means that if you lose one match, you're still in the mix. You just have to go through the losers bracket. So you actually only get eliminated after 2 matches. The other thing is that the lower side of the grand finals has to win 2 matches to win the title. So if you go through that losers bracket, you actually get to the final. You have to beat the person that's in the winners bracket twice, and that's the main distinction here. How do you feel about that format, Ben? Are you a fan of the winner losers bracket dynamic?
Yeah, I think the double elimination bracket is great. I mean, let's say you face Hikaru in round number 1. I mean, the tournament can just be over after 1 day, but now you have a chance to come back. And I think it's very fair, right? It gives everyone the chance. I mean, it gives everyone 2 lives. So even if you lose 1 match, you can always still come back. That being said, if you keep winning in the winner's bracket, you take a bit of a shortcut in the bracket, so to speak. But what are your thoughts, Casa?
Yeah, hey, it's not 9 lives, but 2 lives is pretty good. It's definitely better than 1. So anyways, let's talk about that featured matchup that we basically alluded to already, which was the matchup between Bortnik and Min Lei. We actually have some stats on screen for you now. Min Lei is leading in their bullet head-to-head. This is Bortnik's 6th BCC appearance and Min Lei's 5th. And Min Lei was actually 4th in the 2022 BCC, and Bortnik was a 2021 runner-up. So both of these folks have a ton of experience, and I think that last bullet there is the one that pops out to me. Both these players have a combined 60,000 bullet games. 60,000. What, Benjamin? How many hours of chess is that?
That is a lot. Yeah, that's more than 1,000 hours of bullet. I mean, I don't even know the math, but yeah, that's a lot of bullet. I mean, both of them are veterans in this format. I don't know. I'd give a slight edge to Bortnik. I just had a quick look at the bullet leaderboard. Right now, Bornik is ranked number 3 behind Hikaru and a mysterious other player, rated around 30 to 50, very high bullet rating. Ming Lei a little bit lower rated, but as you mentioned, he's not a stranger to bullet chess, and he's done very well in previous editions. I think this is going to be a close one.
Yeah, and we have some other stars in the field. One is Daniel Naroditsky. He is certainly someone that we've seen time and time again deliver in this format. And he's going to be one of the folks that we're going to keep an eye on rather, during this event, because he definitely has a need for speed and certainly has a passion too, Benjamin. You always see when he's in these tight time scrambles and, he's on top, he definitely is one of the guys that react. So I think he's someone also just look out for on camera sometimes, Benjamin.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome to watch Danya in the Bullet Chess Championship. I mean, we usually see him commentating or streaming on his own channel. He's usually very calm, but when it comes to this event, you see his passion, you see how much it means to him, and that he really wants to win, and he wants to compete with the best. And yeah, we've seen he finished in 3rd place in 2020 from 2022, so he can really hang with the best. I mean, usually Hikaru is a little bit better, but Danya definitely a player to watch out for in this tournament.
Yeah, and he did win the Sunday most recent Bullet Brawl ahead of guys like Magnus Carlsen and Andrew Tang. So definitely a formidable person in this format. Speaking of that very important format, just to give people a refresher of what to expect, there is 30 minutes of 1+0. That's right, there's no increment here. You can be flagged, it will happen. There's 1 point for a win, half point for a draw. And the key distinction, this brings me back to the basketball courts in New York City. You have to win by 2. So if you're 10-10 and the time is up, it's not over at that, 11-10. Of course, if 10-10, the time that will continue. But even if you're up 1, it has to be a 2-point edge. And that's something that to keep in mind as you're watching this in the waning seconds. We will go to overtime portion if someone is not winning by 2.
Yeah, we'll go to overtime. We'll play 10 games of overtime. So if anyone takes a 2-point lead during that portion, they win the match. But after those 10 games, if you lead by 1 point, you also win the match.
Look at Fabi and Nihal on screen right now. They both seem like they're trying to get their setup down. I wouldn't say they look like they're focused on logistics right now instead of the chess game. They're like, is my camera set up right? Do I see the audio? There's a little bit of a confused, perturbed look on both of their faces, but I think they're about to lock in and play these games, and that's going to be fun to watch. Who you got in this one?
Yeah, I definitely give the edge here to Nihal. I mean, just the experience. He plays a lot of online blitz and bullet, especially bullet. I mean, Nihal is super fast, never blunders, super tricky, very good also positionally. Fabiana, of course, has a lot of strength, but he doesn't quite have the same speed as Nihal has. And I think, by the way, what we're seeing right now is just the players in the Zoom call, probably an arbiter or proctor telling them, like, hey, share your screen, run task manager, display settings. I mean, I've gone through it myself as a player. That's probably what they're going through right now.
Yeah, and Benjamin Bach, he knows the vibes. He knows that we do, even for Bullet, have fair play checks. It's very important here to maintain the integrity of games in competitions like this. And you see your Naroditsky and Pragg on the screen here. Pragg is actually a really, he can play fast over the board, but you don't necessarily think of him as this crazy bullet player. So I'm curious to see how he'll perform in this event. I truly think he's a bit of a wild card for me.
Yeah, and I haven't seen him play a whole lot of bullet, whereas, okay, Danya, we see him play bullet all the time, so I think Danya definitely a favorite in this one, but I'm curious to see what we can expect from Pragg. I mean, he's very young. We know that the youngsters are super fast with the mouse, so let's see if he's one of them.
Yeah, we will see, and we're going to have matches underway in just a little bit less than a minute here. I'd say maybe like 30, 40 seconds. So we're about to kick off. It's going to be super fun. It's going to be a frenetic pace, folks. We're going to have 4 matches going on at once. Benjamin Bach and myself are going to try our best to navigate you through these matches, give you updates. And it's going to be really, really crazy pace. It's going to calm down a little bit as folks kind of move on to the losers bracket and so on. But at this start of this event, it's going to be a lot of And yeah, a lot to be excited for, Benjamin.
Yeah, so we're going to start off with Diane Naroditsky against Prag and Borny against Ming Lei. So Diane, one of the stars in this event. The other matchup is a very close one. We see the players getting ready, and Kasa, I see that Ming Lei put on a hoodie. I know that often he likes to twirl his hair. Maybe he's doing that to, not twirl his hair and keep his hand on the mouse. Do you think that's a strategy?
Hey, kind of important to keep your hand on the mouse in this one. You definitely can't afford to lose seconds here and there. I must say it's very rare, I feel like, to see really strong players wear the hoodies in games and events. I think the only person I've seen do this regularly is Jeffrey Shang.
Okay. Right, we're receiving word that the matches are starting any second now. They're starting very soon. Meanwhile, I see Diane has stood up from his chair, so I hope his match is not going to start while he's taking a quick break.
Yeah, we will. We shall see, because I don't know even if the great Danya Naroditsky can afford to forfeit 30 or 40 seconds in a minute-long game. So, but that would be also funny and entertaining theater. So I'm here for all the theater, and I'm also here to see how folks navigate tilt during a match. Again, these are going to be 30-minute matches essentially. If you lose 2-3 games in a row, how do you respond? Does it torpedo out of control? Tough to say. I'm very curious to see what adjustments people make during these matches.
Yeah, no, there will definitely be swings. I mean, we will see, maybe some players winning 3 games in a row, then losing 3 games in a row. That's bullet chess for you. I mean, the games go very fast. I mean, any player can make a silly mistake or lose on time. That can tilt anyone. Even the best players in the world can get a little upset after a loss.
All right, we're getting word here that we're going to be another minute or two, so we can afford to riff a little bit longer. What's your favorite bullet opening these days, Benjamin? Or do you have a particular? Do you tend to go for setups like knight f3, b3, e3 business, or do you try to hit them concretely? Or what is your approach when you're playing these days?
I feel like I try to play a little bit more aggressively than I normally do, but I don't know if that's backfires, because then I might not be playing the kind of chess I normally play. But I feel like, yeah, it's a good question. Some players like to go for setups, whereas others, they like to play very aggressively from the get-go. I kind of like the aggressive approach a little bit better.
Yeah. Aggression works. We have about 20 seconds now, and then the games will kick off. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm just really excited to see these games. So we have those 2 boards on screen for you, and any second now, literally, we will begin. So buckle up. Hopefully, you got your beverages and you've got fastened your seatbelts, and you'll be good to go, because we certainly are. It's gonna have to be lit here, so it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, we're going to be starting very soon. And what's also interesting to see, Kasa, is that some of the players are streaming. I mean, I see Penguin, Andrew Tang, he's streaming the event, and Hikaru Nakamura as well. Daya, on the other hand, has decided not to stream. Do you feel like it could be distracting for certain players, or do you think that that's not going to be a factor at all?
I guess it just kind of depends on how well you can kind of talk and, essentially riff within your games while focusing, in these 1-minute games. Personally, I wouldn't stream myself, but that level of multitasking is just, it's a real gift, honestly. Not everyone can do it. And I just think some people can do it, some people can. And if you can, kudos to you.
Yeah, and we are off. We see Diane Naroditsky going for the forward for the Glag variation with the white pieces. Prag answering with a quick bishop c5 and d6. What do you think about this opening?
Yeah, it's a very good bullet opening. You basically get your setup quickly, and I think we see the same on the right side of the screen with this Tartakower Caro-Kann structure. So both sides are pretty stable right now, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Daya going for more of a system opening setup. I think Prag is a very fine position here, but I think what Daya likes about the Glag opening is that it's a little bit kind of like a King's Indian in 1e4.
Yeah, definitely not getting the King's Indian vibes here, though, because there's no closed position. The center's kind of open. I think this does favor Prag a little bit. But that being said, things are moving very quickly. And on the other board, we see Bornik has a very nice mission, 2 bishops, pawn up. He is pressing right now.
Looks great for Bornik, but he is down a couple seconds on the clock. On the other hand, Danya up 5 seconds in a position that is very fine for Pragg, but the clock is a bit of an issue.
Yeah, look at him. He's trying to put pressure on the D pawn, trying to double those rooks. The position is becoming a little bit closed here.
Bornik is winning. Rook e7, and he picks up a piece. That should be game number 1 for Bornik.
Yep. 16 seconds for Bornik. All right,
that's enough for him to finish it off. He's just so fast.
Yeah, and what about this with Danya?
I think Danya's going to clinch this one just because of the lead on the clock, but it's not easy. Pragg is hanging in there.
Yeah, there's a little bit of shuffling going on. Objectively, black is fine, but the time can be an issue.
Not anymore. Time is evening up, and he's picking up one pawn after another. I think he might take this one.
Yeah, I'm getting Pac-Man vibes here. Everything must go sale. Everything must go. All these pawns are dropping off.
Right, he's up a couple of pawns. The speed, both sides, 8 seconds. Wow, but okay, there goes the C pawn. That's huge for Danya.
Yeah, but now the F pawn goes.
This one is not over. I feel like Danya might take this one. I mean, Pragg's king has a tough time hiding from the checks.
Give some rook checks.
Oh, there goes the rook.
Oh, and that's going to be game.
Yeah, that's game number 1 for Danya. I mean, great game by Pragg, but Danya just a little bit faster in time scramble.
Yeah. He should probably give him some more checks with the rook, but it's tough going. And it looks like looks like he's going to take this game too here. He's got 2 pawns cleanly. He can push them, but we'll see.
Also up 10 seconds. Yeah, no, like we predicted, this one I think is going to be very close. Bornik's still hanging in there. It's not over just yet. Maybe king b4, and there goes the b3 pawn.
Oh my goodness. All right, how do we like the left side of the screen? We have 2 bishops, yes. Nice space in the center, yes. This h-pawn escapade that white went on, who knows what's going to go down there.
I like Pragg's position from a practical perspective. He's up on time, like 10 seconds, and black's king is feeling quite airy on g8.
Yeah, double those rooks. The rooks got exchanged. There's some pressure. The rook on f5 is annoying. Although I like the way Danya's navigating this. The queen coming to e7. There's queen e2 business. Knight c4 is in the cards as well.
Queen d3 trying to slide into the g6 square. Danya, of course, goes queen e6. But look at the time, Casa. Danya almost down 10 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, and
nice move.
Yeah, b3, king b2. All right, I'm starting to like black here. Rook e2, rook takes g2.
Yeah, there goes the h5 pawn. And Danya not as down as much time anymore, but here goes Pragg's king.
Yeah, this king is going to be a hero. Look at this king, just Sherman's marching it all the way up to the queen side. King c7.
Yeah. Stop the pawn, 94, good move, king c7. And the g pawn is not pushing through, just take on b7. I think Danya's going to take on c5.
Yeah.
Take a draw.
How
do you stop the pawn, though? Wait. Oh, 91.
It's winning. It's a fork. Oh!
You have to keep the last pawn on the board. Keep the last
b6
pawn on the board and you win.
King b7, 2 diagonals away from the knight. 2 diagonals away. It was king
great
b7.
move. King b7, great move by Pragg, and he takes game number 2.
Folks, when your king is 2 diagonals away from a knight, it can't be checked for 3 moves. It's a very nice way to control that knight. So just a little chess insight there. All right, we're back in this, not quite a Gleck anymore. There's no fianchetto, but a bishop e3 again, doubled e-pawn. Seems like Danya saying, I want a half open f-file in my games.
And look at the scorecard, Cos. I think most results are not too shocking, but Anish Giri up 2-0 against Andrew Tang. Who would have expected that?
Yeah, I will say Anish has been doing a few bullet streams lately, so on his YouTube channel, so maybe he did get the necessary reps in that he needed, even though we did see it only played, 400 bullet games in his Chess.com career, so we'll see if it holds. Oh, and that's a queen trap!
Look at this, bishop h4, there goes Pragg's queen. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, yeah, this is how it can go in bullets. Pragg just lost the game very quickly, and there goes another one. He's now down 2 points in the match. Still very early, but he should make sure that Danya doesn't run away with it.
Yeah, and that was just nasty. It's really disgusting. G4 and H4, is that f5 square a little bit sensitive? It looks like it to me. And now you got
I
to
don't
try and
know.
break
I
with
think Daya
E4.
might just go f6, sacrifice the pawn, get the open f file, f6 here,
F6 now for
and
sure.
go for the attack.
F6 now for
Yeah.
sure.
And he goes for it. Okay,
And
don't
then
go knight c5, bishop e3.
Yeah.
But
Queen E2 maybe?
yeah, good move hitting the
Yeah.
pawn. Maybe queenside castles. You cannot take an e5 because you hang the knight. I like Prag's position here a lot. And he's
Yeah,
up on time, so
this
he
bishop
has
is
to win
nice. This bishop on h6 is a really nice sniper. Is definitely looking at an e3 square, the d2 square. Although this knight might have something to say about it.
Yeah, nice maneuver there by Daya. Maybe c4, try to break open the queenside and create some counterplay. But look at the clock. Daya down 7 seconds.
I was going to actually say I would have loved a few moves to go knight a5, b4, and then bring the knight to c5.
h4, great move.
Yeah. All right. There's way too much pressure on the king side now. How's Danya going to manage? Bishop h2, rook h4?
Yeah, Pragg has an attack for free pretty much right now and up 10 seconds. But Daya's going to come with the speed.
Yeah, rook g5 is a nice move, hitting the g4 pawn.
Yeah, and it drops on the board. Queen b6, queen b5, that's an essay check. Queen d3 maybe. This looks tough with 13 seconds. e3 or check, and now e3. Okay. They go into an endgame, so...
Can you convert with 20 seconds? It's enough time, but can you convert?
I mean, Daya's got 8, so he really should win this one. But Daya's got the speed.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that f-pawn goes. It's going to be very difficult to convert this one.
Daya with the pre-moves, 5 seconds against 14. Feels like too much, though. But against Daya, it's not over until it's over. I mean,
at all. This king is going to hide on a2. It's going to hide on a2, and then he's going to shuffle
2 seconds. Oh, there goes the rook, and that should be it. But I think one rule Danya has is never resign a bullet. I mean, 3-2 practice in this match. Casa, let's go to Nihal's match versus Fabiano, because that one is looking pretty close. A 1-point lead for Nihal.
Yeah, and again, okay, repetition there. I think
Grandmaster draw, yeah.
I think both sides will take that one, but Fabi is hanging in right now. Let's check and see how he responds in this game, because this is Sarin is the favorite here, so it is interesting to see how he navigates these games. And all right, what do we have with Fabi here? Fabi's on the black side of something that looks like a London system. This bishop tucked on h2. Sarin very cleverly trying to trade those light square bishops. So knight c6 comes in. Knight c6. Knight c6 hits the queen and the a7 pawn.
That looks like a nice move for Nihal. He doesn't go for it, though. And look at this. Anish Giri up 3.5, against a half a point for Andrew Tang. Who would have expected that? I mean, Anish, of course, is a super gem, but Andrew Tang, he is known as a bullet specialist. I did not expect Anish to lead by such a score.
The man has been practicing. Full credit to Anish thus far, though there's a lot of match left, and Andrew's not going to go down easily. It's so funny to me how they're playing these really classical openings. You have an anti-Berlin on the right, and on the left here, there's like a really proper London system. That is funny to me. I expected some more kind of peculiar setups, Benjamin.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing about this Berlin setup is that you can easily get some moves at f5. A nice move by Tang, activating the bishops. I mean, the thing is with Andrew, I mean, he's a very strong bullet player, but sometimes in these early rounds, he's, not at his full strength yet. And that makes him, a little bit vulnerable against a player like Anish.
Right. Yeah. All right. Okay. Speaking of, this knight now has made it to c7. It's hitting the rook there. And okay, now Sarin has enough. He has the material. Does he have the time to finish this off? I think he will.
Knight d4 was missed. That would have been a full rook. This should be enough as well, because now he can make a bunch of... Go bishop c1. I thought he would have played that a while ago. But now, Fabiano... Yeah. I mean, 3 seconds, though. Is it enough to finish it off? But he can pre-move a lot now.
I think it will be. Don't stalemate. Yeah. Do not stalemate. All right.
And a classic ladder checkmate to finish it off. Nihal takes a 2-point lead.
Yeah, and... again, Anish here looks like he's going to draw against Tang. It's going to be 4.5, 1.5 momentarily.
That's a very important draw, keeping a 3-point lead. Once again, it's still very early, but Andrew has to catch up sooner rather than later.
So Fabi has 2 bishops on your left-hand side of the screen, although little Isolani on d4, not impressive. So I think Sarin's holding that together there.
Yeah, and Sarin also up 8 seconds on the clock. That definitely cannot be neglected. Fabiano has to catch up here. Oh, knight c2. Oh.
Okay, rooks being traded. These trades are pretty much okay for black. If anything, I prefer black now. The pawns on dark squares. Now this king on g8 can just march down the yellow brick road, which will be those light squares, get to d5, and that pawn on d4 is lost. b5.
This looks winning to me. I mean, I think you just passed bishop f6 and white's in zugzwang. How do you hang on to d4?
100%. 100%. b4. Oh, even better.
First, even better. Yeah, a
check,
great game by Nihal.
Winning king pawn ending. That was beautiful technique. And 33 seconds on the clock, too. Wow. Incredible technique by Sarn.
Very impressive game by Nihal. I mean, I don't know how he does it. He plays a perfect game in bullet chess, and you saw Fabiano like, yeah, what am I supposed to do against this? And yeah, it's still early, but a 3-point lead is quite significant. Now, keep in mind, everybody, that you need to win by 2. So if, let's say, Andrew or Fabiano cuts into the deficit a little bit, they might have enough time for games at the end.
Queen takes g3 was a threat. It's still a threat. Knight f1 backing up.
Knight f6, nice move. Bishop b3, good move by Nihal to neutralize the pressure a little bit.
Oh yeah, now these trades are definitely helping out Nihal for sure.
E4 can just be taken, I thought, but he didn't. You go, okay, takes. g6.
Look at these rooks though, maximum pressure on the CND files.
Yeah, you got to be very careful not to allow a move like rook c7 at the wrong moment, but that e-pawn looks very dangerous now.
Yeah, and e2 is incoming for sure. And yeah, now Nihal is going to have to figure out how to navigate this.
Oh, there goes
he drops the pawn.
Yeah, and time. Nihal is up on time now. Bishop d5, nice find.
It looks like he's taking over a little bit. Okay, now it's fizzling out.
Right, but I don't think this is going to be a draw anytime soon. I mean, black's king, bishop b4. Looks scary at the very least, or rook c7. This looks very annoying for black. Bishop b4.
Oh no, this is a disaster.
For Nihal.
Yeah, this is a disaster. To defend this is terrible.
No, yeah, I think there goes another pawn, and that's it. Yeah. Rook g4, rook f4.
Now rook f4. Now you trade to the winning king pawn endgame, just like the last one. Nihal knows his king pawn endgames, folks. This is 2 games in a row. He's traded everything to the king pawn endgame. And this one is actually instructive. We're not going to see the end of it, but there's always a little bit of a dynamic with that knight pawn, right, Benjamin?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of the first endgames you'll learn as a kid. Nihal wins this one and takes a 4-point lead. Let's switch back to Danya versus Pragg. Danya currently is tied with Pragg. Who would have expected that?
All right, so Pragg has definitely adjusted, and he's someone I actually think does a great job responding to a loss. We saw it in the candidates a few times where he lost and then bounced right back. So he's someone that deals with adversity well. That is a knight, though, and that's going to be the game.
Yeah, so Danya takes back the lead. Only 1 point, though, so let's see how Pragg can strike back. He has been opening with the Trompovsky. I think a nice opening choice, because Danya likes his King's Indian. And the Trompovsky is a completely different game.
Yeah, the reason I like it too is just to have these little imbalances. Like for sure, black will have the bishop pair, but the pawn structure, the king safety, and bullet might tell a little bit more than the bishop pair does.
95, nice move, getting rid of that bishop pair. And now, like you said, black can take on f3 and b2, but then your own king might be a little bit vulnerable. So I like Pragg's game here.
Yeah, me too. I'm hoping in the short order, white wound up playing h4, give their king an escape square, and then maybe mosey that pawn up the board, h4, h5. Pragg goes for h3 instead. Still a little bit easier to play white.
Yeah, this looks very unpleasant for Danya, and the clock situation also shows that he's down. Okay, right now it's evening up, but he was down like 10 seconds earlier. Rook d2, though, good move to create counterplay.
Yeah, and watch out, f2 pawn.
Yeah, this is still unpleasant, though, given the fact that black's king is a little bit more vulnerable. It's going to be easier for Pragg to play quickly here.
Yeah, for sure. And I think I would... Okay, it looks like there might be repetition here. No, queen d8 check is not possible because of the rook on d2. But this rook's trying to spin around. King h6, what a funny move.
He's up 7 seconds, give or take. Still, okay, rook d1, I think a clever move by Danya. Is Danya going to hold the draw here? Threatening queen g5 checkmate right now. He stops it. Queen g4 maybe?
f6, queen g4, yeah. All right,
I feel like Danya should hold with his... Trade?
Wait, trade the queens!
Oh, king h5. Can you trade with queen g5, or is that a draw?
I would go g3 first. And now I think it's Zugzwang.
Okay, he trades, but is this a
No,
win,
not
though?
like that. Not like that. Not with the backward
But
pawn.
5 seconds
No.
for Danya, but how
Yeah,
do you win? Because
this is a
maybe you
dead
go
draw.
G4, but G4 is risky. I
This is
think Danya
a
might have
dead
enough time to
draw.
draw. Is Pragg the type of guy to go G4? G4, G4, G4,
G4,
G4!
G4, G4.
You gotta go for it. He's got 1 second. Well,
It
0.1
doesn't
second.
work. It just doesn't work with the king on F2 though. It worked with the king on the black king on E2, and then G4 is crushing. Wow.
But hey, a win is a win is a win, and Pragg ties it up.
Who would have thought? Honestly, I'm already surprised. Pragg is in it, and Giri's still
but
up.
what happened there? He just lost the piece.
And what is this line? D4, bishop F4, F3. What is this madness we're looking at right now?
I guess
Oh
this is some theory that I'm not familiar with. Bishop D4, this looks nasty. I mean, Bishop G7 runs to F4, so how do Bishop G7 actually hangs the knight on E5? D6 runs to F4, so he's forced to go F6, but that's not a move you want to play.
These knights, this is I would call it a nightmare. I mean, these knights have just been running around doing absolutely nothing. All right, although D5 maybe gets into some break now. All right, if the center opens up, white is going to collapse, Ben.
This looks very, very dangerous. I mean, Queen A5 to A3 is now a big threat, and yet there Danya goes. How do you? Oh, you just get rid of the knight. Very clever. Nice. And now I kind of like white. I mean, the black king on E8 is also not too safe.
Oh, king D2. That's such a nice move. The king is totally safe there. The knight has to go to an ugly square, and now white can start to, basically do his. Is this king going to walk to G3?
I think it's safe enough on F2. But yeah, Pragg, great position here. I mean, bring in the other
double the rooks, play Queen H6, attack F6. It's collapsing.
Right, but where's the final breakthrough? Do you take an F6 and go for the endgame, or I like Rook D8 better, going for the checkmate? But
yeah, also hit the rook on B8. Knight H5. I don't like all these piece trades, but G4 is collapsing. G4 is collapsing.
Yeah, take it. Oh, okay. This is not over yet. Danya hanging in there.
Queen
He's
F6
done on time. He's so resilient. F6 maybe, Rook F7.
I don't know. All these things blockaded on the light squares. Trading King F4, King G5, H5,
This
H6.
endgame also looks super tough, and he's down 5 seconds on the clock. This should be a win for Pragg. Taking G3, or that, yeah, and H7.
H7. Rook takes D7, H7. Oh. Yeah.
Great win by Pragg, and it's all tied once again. I thought this was going to be a win for Danya, but Pragg came out of play.
Yeah, and you can see on the other side of the screen, Bortnik and Minlay, they are tied 5.5, 5.5. So these are the prime time matches we have going on right now. I think we're going to stick with these ones for a little while.
Wow, yeah. And here we have kind of a Berlin endgame without a C2 pawn. So very good Berlin for Pragg.
A dream within a dream, basically. This is
yes.
This is an incredible position for black, and yeah, I mean, just improve. A5, Rook D8. Yeah, this is a nightmare to defend.
Yeah, this is looking very comfortable for Pragg. Knight at D4. Okay. But now Danya can win the pawn back. He doesn't decide to go for it. Still not easy to convert this with the opposite color bishop. And Danya also now expanding on the king side.
Yeah, and now those pawns on the king side, H6 being liquidated. This one is actually, I think, closer to a draw than it was before. But who knows? These B and C pawns might have something to say.
Right, knight C2, putting pressure on. Oh, B3, tricky move there. But I think Danya's just in time to stop it with a C4 move at the right time.
Yeah, C4 now. Knight C4 would close the coffin on that bishop covering the B2 square.
But do you hold this? I mean, it should be a draw. But with bullet, is it easy to get all of the pre-moves in?
King C6, King B. Oh, I don't like C4. How's the king ever going to go in towards the center? I don't know.
This could still be a little bit annoying in a bullet game, right? King B4.
King B4.
Right, what do you play here? C3, game over. Yeah, yeah. There we go.
What was the move there to even hold the position? I have no idea.
I don't know, but it goes to show how difficult this endgame still was to hold. And Praggnanandhaa takes the lead in the match and goes for another Trompowsky.
Yeah, and this has been basically a little theory battle here. Wow.
Talking about comebacks, Ming Lei earlier was trailing by a few points, but now he's up in the match. In the meantime, Anish is still leading, but it's only 2 points, which is still something. But if Tang wins another one, they go to overtime.
And Fabi is down 3, and so he's definitely got to close that gap with 9 minutes to go. There is plenty of time to close that gap, but he's got no time like the present to start. Now, what's going on here? This queen trade actually is favorable for black because of this rook c4 move. That's a very nice move to try and fight for the file. b3 clarifies things. Now you have a weakness. I think rook c7, but the problem is now rook a2 is going to be very active hitting the f2 pawn.
Knight h2, great move by Pragg, going for the
Knight
g4
G4.
square, defending f2, but rook d2 hitting the weakness on but check on rook b7. f7 also very awkward to defend. Knight g5. What's the move here? Maybe take on b5 and f4? Oh, check,
F4,
clever
yeah.
move.
King f1.
Or rook g2, that's a good move.
Yeah, the pawns are
Yeah,
dropping
this
off.
should be a win for Danya, who's also up 10 seconds.
Yeah, this is
Wow.
that was an everything must go sale. All the pawns started to just drop. So 7-all.
Mm-hmm. And we see here a Jobava London by Diana Naroditsky, a very quick c5 96 by Pragg. Bishop g4, I think this is quite comfortable for black already.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of e6 there, but I'm also not a fan of g3. This fianchetto in this London setup is a very unique. You pretty much have to get in c4. The bishop on g2 is going to be awful.
Right, yeah, that's definitely what Diana should go for. 95, nice move, clamping down on that c4 square with all of his pieces. So Diana goes to bishop g4.
Maybe try a4 for white a few moves ago would have made sense. Now queen g4, bishop h6, if this queen ever leaves c8, a4 might be a thing.
A4, clever move, but bishop c6, Pragg holding the queen side together.
Look at how that queen very quickly shifted over to f6 to defend the king side. Very smart play by Pragg just to hold things together.
Yeah, bishop e5, cementing the queen side even further. You can take, maybe. He goes all in on the defense, though, with the rook to g8. There goes 95, just take. Knight c4 back. I mean, yeah.
g4, g5 is the only plan. I feel like eventually you're going to have to go for it. Maybe bishop c1, g4, g5, something along those lines.
Black's queen side is just so solid, though, and Pragg just pushing the a-pawn down the board. Danya, in the meantime, bringing his forces over to the queen side to defend over there.
Very impressed with Danya's defending, though. Really, somehow managed to consolidate. These pawns look really menacing. Now he's pushing on both flanks.
Wow, and look at g6. I kind of like that move to bring the h-rook into the game. There goes the a-pawn, though. Time is approximately even. There goes the f-pawn.
Rook takes f4. Attack c3. Now the g-pawn might assert itself. g5.
Yeah, g5, g4. Danya up 3 seconds, though. Is Pragg going to find a speed or...
b4. b4 might have been an idea. It's a little bit too late.
He's not cutting into the time edge. Danya up just too much time right now. And I think it's going to win for Danya. He's just too fast. Yeah, wow. And he wins with a 6 second lead on the clock.
Yeah, incredible. Back in the London system again. We are having a London and Jobava London vibe basically the entire match here. So remember, it is win by 2, so a 1 point lead is not enough. It's not enough to take it.
Yeah, and we have another 5 minutes on the clock. In the meantime, Minglei and Bornik are also tied. Oh, Minglei hung his rook in a rook endgame. That's usually not a good idea.
Oh man, and it was still a drawn position, which is hilarious.
Yeah. But I think in the final seconds, Bornik just went for the flag, right? He just gave a couple checks. Yeah. In the meantime, let's see what's happening here. I like Danya's position. He's up a pawn. White king is feeling very airy. d4, perhaps, to blast open the center.
Oh my god, this king needs home improvements because it has no shelter where it is. And queen b8, I would not trade queens. Queen b8. Do not trade these queens.
Queen b8, great move. Queen d3 by Pragg hitting the pawn on d5.
Now king h8. Don't even defend the d5 pawn. Just make sure your king is not in the way of any checks. I would go king h8.
Wow, and Danya voluntarily trades off the queens. I think a mistake, because now also the e4 pawn is weak. Okay, this should be a draw, though, but Pragg is up on time. Maybe he can push here. King, rook a4, rook a6.
Yeah, this king on g3 is going to be more active. Yeah. Rook a6,
very unpleasant.
I would actually rate white's chances quite decently here.
Yes, because black is also very passive here.
King takes g7. King takes g7.
Now it is a draw, but rook f1 looks like a no. King up.
King
This
g6
is a
was winning
draw.
there, by the way. When the rook was on g1, king g6 and h6, h7 was just winning.
Oh, that's a big pawn to throw. And Daya goes for the win. He does not trade rooks. Risky decision. I mean, he is down on time here by 4 seconds.
Yeah, and I'm worried about Prague now. I am worried that he might actually lose this one.
Pragg is making it clear that he's content with a draw here by...
Oh, you could have blocked with the rook and
up 2
traded.
seconds, though. I think Pragg should go for the win. He's up 2 seconds. Can he get it done? What is going... Oh, and Daya gets the rook trade in just in time to save the draw. But even if the rooks were not traded, I was not 100% sure that Pragg would win that one.
Here we have another Jabava London, but with this e4 pawn sack. Very interesting. And e6, wow. Okay.
All of this is theory. Daya and Bornik have this line in their course, and I actually recommend this line in my course for Black. Bishop g7. I think Black's doing quite fine here.
Yeah, I agree. It's just this pawn structure is not a sight for sore eyes. I mean, look at all these double pawns.
I'm a little surprised with the move rook to c8. I thought the rook was doing a great job on the a file, putting pressure on a2. Now I really like Daya's position. He's got plenty of pressure. Black also has more weaknesses than white, and there might go to b6 pawn. Rook d5, clever move though. And now rook maybe to h5 or f5?
F5 for sure. Knight d7. Rook takes f3.
Oh, but bishop e3, clever move, and he's hanging on to the f pawn. Knight e4, defending the pawn on f3 by tactical means, and he goes for counterplay. There goes the b pawn. And there goes the rook. That's going to be another. Yeah.
2-point edges for both Danya and Anish right now, and we'll see how this develops. This seems like a dream position for Anish. He has a rook endgame where he can kind of shuffle unambitiously, and that's what he's doing.
Yeah, he's just shuffling back and forth. Tang going for counterplay with a c5 push. I mean, big game here for Tang. He cannot afford to lose and let it get back to 3. Oh, there goes the g4 pawn.
Yeah, and he did collect the g4 pawn, but it still has drawish tendencies, and I think Anish will hold this.
He should, but Tang is super fast, and he's up a pawn now.
But you just collect it back. Yeah, the g5 pawn dropped, and this one I think he'll hold in his sleep.
Right, but don't underestimate Tang's speed here, even though he is the one down on time. I mean, look at this. Look at the speed right now.
Oh my god, he's catching up. Oh my gosh.
He's catching up. Yeah, he's almost ahead already. I think clever move by Anish, getting rid of that pawn. He's technically winning now, but very difficult to convert with this time. But it's easier for him to... Okay, but Tang, he's so fast. It's incredible.
Oh my gosh.
This is a huge game. Whoever...
Wow, and he took it. And he took it. He took it.
Oh, what a game. And big win there for Tang. I think if Anish wins that one, the match is over. But now it's anyone's match here.
All right, we have less than a minute left, and these are the matches to focus on. My goodness.
Oh, Pragg hung his queen.
And that's a 3-point edge.
Wow. That's it. I don't see Pragg making up 2 points in like half a minute.
No,
in the meantime, Andrew versus Anish. If Anish wins this game, I think it's over because then the time will expire and he's up 2 points. But will he do it?
Well, it does not look great for Andrew at the moment. His pieces are very jumbled, although he has a nice little grip on the dark squares.
He's got a nice blockade on e3, and there goes for counterplay with g4, but looks a little risky, opening up his own king. Anish bringing on, but queen h4, that's a nice move for rook g5. I like what Andrew's doing here.
King h1? h2, okay. These pieces on the king side are quite menacing. The queen on h4, rook on g5, knight on g4. If you can get that other rook on e1 in the game, I think that'll be very nice. Queen trade, who does that favor? Probably white.
Queen f2, clever move to trade off the queens. Oh, f5 also weak now. I mean, Anish having a lead on the clock.
These knights, though, if this rook on e1...
are so tricky.
Oh my god,
rook g8
and knight f7 are both threats.
No, but... Oh, Yeah, no, this is looking like a win for Andrew Tang.
And it's tied up. It's 9.5, 9.5, and we are going to have overtime in this match. Wow.
Wow, what a match. That penultimate game was just where it happened. Had Anish won that game in the time scramble, it would have been over, but Andrew clutched that one out and also wins another one to tie it all up going into overtime.
Crazy. Crazy. All right,
And
so
we are off.
Yeah, and again, remember, folks, it's a win by two. So that's what's going on right now. We actually can focus on one game.
There goes a pawn. That's a big pawn to throw. But
yeah,
it's not over yet.
And now that king is very weak on g7. Although look at Andrew trying to make use of the open h file with his rook on h8.
Did Anish have d5? Take knight c4? Wait, no, wait, there's d4. There's d4. Never mind. Let's see.
It's in the air though.
You got to get rid of that knight. Rook to h8. Queen f4.
Nice.
Tricky move.
Rook
and
h8.
Fighting back here. G3. This looks a little bit annoying with all of the black pieces around the white king.
Yeah.
Q1, nice, fine, but I mean, I'd be a little nervous here.
Yeah, this king is a little airy. Queen f1, nice consolidating move. Queen g2, just kind of trying to hold the fort there. Although now these trades have actually helped Andrew.
Yeah, and okay, time's even out, position is even. Andrew is the faster player though, so let's see if Anish can hold his own in this time scramble.
I like his chances. This king is walking towards the center is way too active.
Oh, knight f6, knight f6, knight f6!
No, the fork! And it's missed!
That was a fork! Oh, and there goes the c-pawn. Push or take. I think Andrew's going to take this one.
Rook B. This rook, if it gets in the game, it's over. Rook e6. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, there goes the knight. Yeah, that's it. Andrew is taking this game as well. And now he's only one win away from advancing.
Man.
Let's keep in mind, everybody, it is win by 2. So even if this game ends in a draw, Anish is still in it. But if Andrew wins this one, it's over.
And keep in mind, too, Anish had a huge lead early on. He was up three points, was kind of playing confidently, doing his thing. And the bullet experience is probably telling right now. It's starting to tell over a long match.
Again, I think that's the thing with Andrew. He starts out perhaps a little too chilled out. But then, he picks up the speed, and then he's just an absolute beast. So I like what he's doing here, creating an attack on the king side.
Yeah, the last few moves have been sick. h4, h5, prying open the king side, getting the rooks involved. How does this rook on d3, though, get in the game? That f3 move just cut off its oxygen.
Right, Anish had... Oh, p3, that's such a nasty move. But e5, great counterpunch by Anish. Opening up his own piece. Knight takes c5. Oh, but the pins are so nasty here. How do you defend the knight?
I have no idea. You go queen d6 and then just rook e1.
Yeah, like, what do you play here? I don't see a move, and neither does Anish. That's why he's taking his time. Queen c5?
Yeah, and those types of things are death.
I'm taking... I don't know. This looks super tough. You don't defend this in bullet. Queen g6.
Yeah, bishop f5, queen g6 is also...
Queen g5. Wow. No, this is over. I don't see Anish holding this.
Yeah, bishop f5, h7.
He's setting up queen g7 at the right moment. I don't know where, though.
h7, queen g8 mate.
Where's the mate?
Bishop f6.
Oh, and Anish just resigned?
Because a bishop takes f6.
Oh, bishop f6 and g8, yeah.
Exactly.
That's a nice line. Anish still looked a little confused there at the end. Maybe he didn't mean to press the resign button.
Yeah. I hope he was aware that it was win by 2 and that was a wrap and that there was no more. But my goodness, we just got a blistering 30 minutes. That was an incredible matchup. Let's see the bracket now. Where do we stand currently? Well, Sarin beat Fabiano Caruana with a convincing victory. He's going to face Andrew Tang in the next round. Tang, we just saw, dusted up Giri in overtime. It was a really close contest, but he did finish him off in the end. And Danya beat Pragg 11.5 to 7.5. We saw the last waning minutes of that one really turned. And Bortnik, actually, to my surprise, we followed that early on. It was very close early on, but it wound up being 11.5, 6.5, which is surprising because I think it was 6-all at some point. So, Benjamin, where do you think we're going to have next. We're going to have, Fabiano Caruana playing Anish, Giri in the losers bracket, Pragg and Min Lei. What do you think about these next matchups coming up, Benjamin?
Right, so we'll see Fabiano against Anish tomorrow, same with Pragg and Min Lei. But yeah, some incredible matches. Anish was very close. I think, again, if he had won that time scramble, he would have clinched the match. So next up, we'll have Nihal versus Andrew Tang. Andrew will definitely have to bring his A game to defeat Nihal. And Danya against Bornik, that's going to be absolute fire. I mean, I give a slight edge to Danya, but it can go either way.
Yeah, we're going to have the quarters next. But first, tickets for this year's SEC Live Finals in Paris are officially on sale. For the first time ever, you are invited to join the Speed Chess Championships 4 finalists as they compete in person for the crown. All tickets will get you in the room with our live commentary team, plus perks like streamer booths and raffles, and you can level up your ticket tier to unlock the VIP lounge, player meet and greets, and more. Early bird pricing will last until the end of the month only, so head to go.chess.com/SEC tickets or use !TICKS in chat to book your seat at the historic finals. We're going to head to break, but coming up, winner corner finals, Nihal versus Tang and Danya versus Bornik. Stay with us.
Hey everyone, I'm Hikaru Nakamura, and this is my Google Auto... Wait, what was it? Google what? This is my Google Autocomplete. So the first one we're going to do is right here. This is, what is Hikaru Nakamura IQ? This is a great question, obviously. I don't know the answer to this one myself. I did an online fun one on stream and it was 109 or 102. Obviously, that's not accurate, but nobody knows. What did Hikaru Nakamura study in college? That, of course, the answer would be political science. I did not actually finish, but I would have majored in that. What is Hikaru Nakamura ranking? Okay, currently number 3 in the world in classical chess, and I think number 2 in blitz, something like that. What is Hikaru Nakamura's favorite opening? I don't necessarily have a favorite opening per se, but I do like the move 1e4. How old is Hikaru Nakamura? The answer, of course, would be 35 at the present time. How tall is Hikaru Nakamura? And this one, it's generally 5 feet 7.5 inches. I don't know what that is in European standards, but it's something decent at least. How much does Hikaru Nakamura make? Obviously, I do quite well as a content creator, so I think that's all that people really need to know. How to pronounce Hikaru Nakamura? Now, even myself, when I pronounce my name, it's definitely more Americanized versus Japanese. Certainly, if I was pronouncing it correctly, it would be more like Hikaru as opposed to Hikaru, but I've spent so much of my life here in America that that's just how I pronounce it, and everyone does the same thing. Is Hikaru Nakamura Japanese? Answer obviously is yes. I am 50% Japanese. My biological father 100% Japanese, and my mother is Caucasian white, primarily a mix of Scandinavian if we're being really technical, but I'm 50% Japanese. Is Hikaru Nakamura world champion? So this, of course, a generic question. It depends what format of chess they're referring to. If we're talking about all forms of chess, I am currently the Fischer Random World Chess Champion. If you're referring to traditional chess, I am not the world champion. Is Hikaru Nakamura the best chess player? Now, a lot of people like to think I have this massive ego and I think I'm the best in the world at chess. I am pretty good, but definitely not currently the best chess player, and historically nowhere near the top. But I would say I do consider myself to be probably in the top 10 to top 15 chess players of all time, which is still pretty good, all things considered. Thanks to the audience, of course, for asking me these questions, and I hope that the answers are very enjoyable for everybody and they learned something new today.
This June, kick off the summer with some of your favorite chess bots. Have some fun with old friends, or maybe someone new. Play them all on Chess.com.
Se pueden plantear muchas teorías de por qué la gente me acusa a mí de trampas, ¿no? Principalmente porque Chess.com hizo una lista de los que más habían ganado premios, los que más habían tenido un buen top 5 durante todo el 2023, incluso 2022. Y yo creo que aparezco después de Magnus y Hikaru, de los que más ha cobrado en los Title Tuesdays. Y yo creo que la gente juzga mucho por lo primero que ve, ¿no? pero uno juzga que pues uno juega 100 Title Tuesday mientras que la mayoría juega 40, 30, 50 porque anda haciendo otras cosas, juega torneos presenciales, yo qué sé. Descanso. Pero no tengo ganas de hablar ahorita, es súper amargo.
Welcome back to the 2024 Bullet Chess Championship. You see here we have Andrew Tang snacking on a little something there before his game gets underway against Nihal, who had a very convincing victory in his first matchup against Fabiano Caruana. So we're going to see these folks duke it out, and yeah, both of them, did their thing early on, Benjamin. Who do you have in this one?
I'm going to give the edge to Nihal. He won pretty convincingly against Fabiano Caruana, whereas Andrew, he had to mount a big comeback against Anish. Did not look that convincing. I think he was behind like 9.5, 7.5, but he won the last 4 games, so I'm going to give the edge to Nihal.
Yeah, basically it just comes into the question about whether or not Tang has gotten his kind of early bird jitters out the way, and maybe he's going to be able to ride that momentum. It did feel like Nihal from beginning to the end of his last match was pretty much in superb form, and it was super impressive. He converted 2 positions straight to pawn endgames. I thought that was super impressive. He knows how to consolidate with the best of them.
Definitely. And then we also have Naroditsky against Alexander Bornik. Who do you have in that one, Casa?
I have to give the edge to Danya here, although I think Bortnik definitely showed me something with the way he dispatched Minlay toward the end of that match. I do feel like these folks know each other very well, and I'm just going to give it to the slightly stronger chess player, can I say? But we'll see.
Yeah, I'm also going to give the edge to Danya. He is placed slightly higher than Bornik in previous Bullet Chess Championships. So I think he should be the favorite, but really not by a whole lot. I mean, I think this one can go either way.
Yeah, and I think the question that I'm gonna, have in the top of my head is how are they gonna approach it? I feel like, Danya definitely in the last match was basically, playing on both sides of the board, playing very frenetic, basically taking his chances, but also holding the fort when he needed to against Prague. Bornik really did, do his thing as well. So I'm kind of curious to see the stylistic approach.
I'm very curious to see what openings the players are going to play, because they actually play the same openings. I know that Danya and Bornik have worked in some cores together, for example, on the Jobava London. I guess we'll see quite a few games in like E4, E5. Also, by the way, they kind of both worked on a core. So I'm curious if we'll see a few games in that opening as well.
Yeah, I was wondering if Bornik was going to bring out the Alekhine and the Bullet, given that, you know, Danya would probably be ready for that and have something cooked up. There's so many fun lines you could play against the Alekhine. I'm not going to name all of them now, but there are a lot of interesting Bullet type of sacrificial ways you can kind of chase that knight around the board.
Mm-hmm. And then we have Nihal versus Andrew. So what do you think about that one? I think stylistically the players are quite similar. They both like to, you know, maneuver. They both like the positional grind.
There'll be a lot of Queen's Gambit declines. Oh, and here we go. We have a Queen's Gambit decline. I was going to say, Andrew Tang is a Queen's Gambit decline player through and through. He plays D5, E6 all the time, and I'm not surprised to see we have this Carlsbad structure on the board, which Andrew's navigating pretty reasonably.
Yep. And in the other game, we have a double Fianchetto by Bornik, only one Fianchetto from Danya, and Danya giving up the bishop right here to double black's pawns. I think this should be quite even for both sides.
I'm looking at that C3 square, and I'm wondering if a rook lands there at some point. I kind of start to like black. So I'm a little bit concerned about that. Just a rook C3 or doubling on the C file, maybe rook E7 and then rook C3. But no, Bornik takes a different approach.
Yeah, I think it might be slightly easier for black to maneuver. Knight D3, good move though by Danya, trying to get rid of that B4 pawn, H5. Maybe setting up ideas with knight at G4, H3, knight E4. And knowing Bornik, I would not be surprised if we see a sacrifice at some point on F2. I mean, he's really setting it up.
Yeah, bishop h6. Yeah, it is. Winter is coming. Winter is coming, and there's going to be something landing on f2 at some point. Although Danya, to mix it up, tries to essentially give up 2 pieces for the rook just to neutralize some of the attacking pressure. And here we are. It's happening.
Knight takes f2 is on the board. And how do you deal with this one? The computer is estimating it as a miss, but to me it looks fantastic. Queen f3. We see queen trade, so Danya hanging in there, but it looks unpleasant.
Yeah, very unpleasant. Knight e4 too, I think, slows down that pawn. Bornik is very greedy. He goes for the b3 pawn and says, "Oh, I still have time." I would not have let the pawn on a7 get that far, frankly.
Right, and so he chops it off with his bishop. It's a full time scramble now. Bornik's threatening mate. Danya sees it. This looks easier
rook
for
g2.
Bornik and a draw.
Wait, a repetition? Wait, there was knight h2 stuff. Knight h2 would have forced the king to e1, and then there had to have been something there. I'm very surprised by that, but the time situation came to play.
All right, and we see a bit of a smile there by Bornik. I think he did not expect that one to be a third time repetition. Neither did I, to be honest.
Yeah. All right, and we're back in the thick of it again.
I like this sacrifice. Oh, sorry, I was going to say I like the sacrifice by Danya, even if the computer gives it a question mark. I think practically it's almost impossible for White to navigate the complications.
Yeah, look at that. Wow. Look at these knights on G1 and H1. Have you ever seen such a thing?
No. E3, great move by Danya, breaking through. I mean, how do you defend here? Queen of 2, checkmate. And Danya takes a lead.
Just like that. Yeah, we haven't been focusing too much thus far on the other match, but Andrew does have a lead at the moment, although he just lost it. Nihal just clutched it up, and it's a 1-1. And we have a Philidor on the other board.
Yeah, I think Bornik likes to play 2 openings. He likes to play the Philidor or the Alekhine. Oh, and another sacrifice by Danya. I like it. I think practically knight g5. It's very difficult.
Knight g5. Knight g5 for sure. There's queen g6 ideas at the right moment. The knight on f8 is barely holding it together. Rook e3 as well. Rook e3, rook g3. Can I get a rook lift for the people in the back?
Right. He trades first.
I think the rook lift right away might have been winning, by the way, instead of playing bishop takes e6.
Yeah, because now there's knight h7. You don't get the same position. And now I think the bishop is much stronger than White's 3 pawns. Rook f8 or rook g8 and then bring the other rook to f8. Looks great.
These open files are now going to be useful for black instead of white, which was crazy to say a few moves ago.
Yeah. Now, Bornik doing a great job here. I think he's about to even it out. But I was just going to say, Bornik plays 2 openings. He plays the Philidor and the Alekhine. And he probably figures that playing the Alekhine against his good friend Danya, who knows the ins and outs of it, is way too risky.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit surprised about that queen trade. Queen f2 and queen f1 was mate, but a piece up here, it's going to be tough to, I think it might be a little tough to convert, or maybe not. This knight's dancing around nicely. Hey, if we know anything about Bortnik, he knows how to use his knights, right? He plays the Alekhine, so he better know how to use his knights.
Yeah, he is super tricky, but look at Danya's speed. He was down 10 seconds, now only 5, and I think White's pre-moves. Oh, there goes a c-pawn. That's huge.
91, 90, no, actually, does that pawn matter? Probably not.
This is not
B5.
that easy to convert, though. And Danya catching up on the clock. Okay, b5, that's it.
Yeah. Just bring the king
and now
over.
Bortnik can pre-move. Yeah, this is an easy win for a bullet veteran like Bortnik.
And wow, what technique there! Even to not allow any stalemating opportunities at all. Very nice pre-moving. Wait, e4 bishop e2. That's a fun one.
Yeah, that's another system Bortnik likes to play. The idea is bishop e2, f4, knight f3, castle, d3, c3. I like Danya's setup though, with the pawn advancing the pawn at d4 and placing knight at f5.
Yeah, I remember we saw in a game where Danya was playing Pragg, where Pragg got the queen trapped on g3 with this bishop h4
d3.
idea.
Oh, sorry,
wow.
But there goes the bishop on e2.
It's still not the end of the world. I mean, you definitely have this knight on g5 menacing the black king side. Castling is a little tricky. You go long though. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you place the bishop on f2. I like it. Maybe at some point he can go c5 to chip away black's queen side.
You have
Earlier,
to.
Danya. Oh, there goes another knight. That's a little bit too. Rook h8, by the way, would have been crushing, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe rook h8 now. Rook h8 followed by knight f3.
Yeah, there's just too much here. And Bortnik is like, ugh, what did I just allow?
Yeah, and we have the Alekhine and an early h4 by Danya. Wow, is this something he cooked up in his kitchen?
Very well. I'd go knight e5 back though. Actually, hit the c6 pawn, not allow bishop g4.
He pushed
there
the pawn
we go.
all the way up.
Knight e5 back.
All right, c4. Okay, en passant. The pawn on h6 is annoying because you cannot fianchetto that bishop.
Look at that. Knight c6, queen c6, bishop b5. So that knight is just not hanging at all.
Right, but if you move it now, you hang c3 and d4, and now the knight is hanging. Okay, check, bishop b2. Still, I think practically this favors Danya because the pawn on h6.
For sure. I think black very quickly needs some type of knight g4 business to happen, but it's going to be hard.
Okay, rook h4 maybe, or castle, or knight g4 is clever though.
Yeah, knight g4, bishop h6. It's you got to try and get that king evacuated to the king side.
I don't like the queen trick because there goes the h6 pawn and Bortnik up 1 pawn now.
All right, now I like Danya's bishop. Knight g5. Hello.
Yeah, no, practically this looks tough for black. There goes the pawn. Take an f6.
No.
Or g5. Wow, there goes a piece.
Wow.
And rook e7.
And then rook e7. Knight g5, knight f3 back. Just knight f3 back.
Okay, gives a couple checks. He's up 7 seconds though. Knight e4 going for a knight trade. This should be a win for Danya because of the time.
King d3, king c3. Now
rook b6. Yeah, picking up the pawn. Bortnik is so fast though. He's pre-moving everything at this point, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Why is he playing this one?
I mean, he's got the speed. I mean, it's not that easy to finish it off. Danya does get the job done though, and takes a 2-point lead.
Yeah, and Nihal is also got a lead on the other board. I mean, it might be a 2-point lead in a moment. We see the piece up, and the king is relatively safe on h3. Knight f4 is coming in. I think this will be a 2-point lead for Nihal.
Yeah, you can just trade the queens here, but don't underestimate playing the time scramble.
That pawn.
Oh, what?
What is going on?
How did that go all the way? What is going on? Kantang. Oh wow, and Nihal wins with 1 second on his clock.
All right, so I guess we're gonna take a gander at Nihal again, and we have this interesting. What was this? It was start off as like a King's Indian f3 Samish type of stuff. I know Tang loves those types of positions, and now it's something a little different. b5. Interesting. Softening up the c5 square, but not allowing the rook on 8 to open. Just developing, trying to get castled. White definitely has a little something here.
Yeah, he's attacking the knight on h5 right now, so I think Nihal should move it back. But Andrew also having a lead on the clock. I like e5 though, nice counterpunch in the center.
Yeah, e5 is very dynamic. Wow. Do you play bishop takes h2? I guess you do. Although this king on g8 is very airy, and now queen x7 is a huge threat, and it's missed. It's missed. Wow.
Yeah, he allows a knight f3. The knight's headed to g5. If the knight lands there, it's going to be very difficult to stop checkmate.
And bishop
there's
d4
just so
as
many-
well. Just getting rid
rook
of the last
d8 and
defender.
knight e5. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, Black's starting checkmate himself now. Oh, but this is very nice by Tang. And knight f7
Knight
checkmate.
f7 mate. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
And it's back to 1 point. In the meantime, Bornik has won a game as well. So there it's also only 1 point. However, I don't see the games right now.
Yeah, I think we'll perhaps focus in on the Tang Nihal game at the moment, and while we figure out the other one. And yeah, we have another one here. It looks like Tang is picking up some momentum. He has a great setup on this long diagonal. If he trades those light squared bishops, maybe he gets the queen to b7. There's some knight f3 check in the future.
I love the move f5. He's trying to go for f4, break open White's kingside, but Nihal hanging in there. e4, interesting pawn sack by Andrew. He's getting queen f7. This looks
Queen
extremely
f7.
dangerous.
Yeah, queen f3 is
How do you
crushing.
defend?
I mean,
I don't see how you
or
defend.
queen
Maybe
f2.
C3, but then maybe you just give a check and take, or take right away.
Yeah, queen f3 and then take c3. Queen f3.
Right, I guess
takes
then
c3.
there's takes right away, queen check, and knight f3. Wow, wait, still not over.
Knight g5.
Knight e4, and queen f5 is a big threat now. No, I think this is too much.
Yeah, way too much.
Queen f3. There goes the rook. Or g5? g5 and knight f2. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Wow, we got three and a half all. Tang has evened it up, and here we go as well. Can Bornik edge closer here? He's got a really nice position. He's a piece up, and he's got 13 seconds on the clock. I think he will actually cut into this lead.
Yeah, he should win this one. It's never over until it's over against Diana, but there he goes down a rook, and Bornik only down a point now.
All right. Whew, okay, this frenetic pace is just unbelievable. The skill required to just play with this level of precision over and over and over and over is just incredible. So
yeah. And here we have another interesting game. Andrew is up 2 rooks and a knight for a queen, but it's often easier to with a queen in time scrambles.
That evaluation bar must be compromised. This objectively is totally winning for White. I mean, you have 2 rooks and a knight. That's way too much material for the queen to handle. And this knight is an excellent defender of the king. It makes it so difficult for Black to even get delivered checks.
Right, but it's taking Andrew quite a bit of time, and he's now getting under 19 seconds against 31 for Nihal. This is not over. I thought what Andrew should have done is just double up the rooks on the 7 rank.
I totally agree, but you can also still do that. Just play rook d7 and let's go.
Right, or he's pushing the pawn, but it's difficult to convert this. Rook b3, nice move. Maybe queen b6 to block. This is not over yet. Queen b7. Nihal, very resilient here.
That's for sure. Resilient is. Yeah, and now I'm getting a little worried. This king has not a lot of shelter now. Oh no, wait.
Are you there goes the queen.
Yeah,
I thought he was going to take the queen, but he goes for checkmate. That's even better. And Tang takes the lead in this one.
Yeah. And look at Bornik also is putting a lot of pressure on Danya, objectively in a great spot. Can he win this one and basically tie it up right now?
Oh, look at this. King c2, and he's closing the mating net.
That's beautiful. I don't think I've ever seen a mating net like that in recent memory. That's a very unique way to have the rook bishop checkmate.
Wow. Oh, these guys are absolute beasts when it comes to bullet, and it's not all tight in their matchup.
Wow. Okay. So we again remember, folks, it's win by 2. So are we going to have 2 overtime matches on our hand? Who knows?
And Tang crushing once again. He's up a piece for nothing. He's down 10 seconds though. So he's got to be a little bit careful.
Yeah, these bishops are just menacing the white queen side, and there's going to be something crashing down on c2 shortly. I'm sure of that. Queen g6 maybe.
Yes. Okay.
I like queen
Nihal
g6.
hanging in there. In the meantime, I like Danya's position. He's down a pawn, but he's got the 2 open files to work with. Wow, and he goes for a sacrifice.
Okay, so we have queen f8 is a threat. So queen takes b4 covers that f8 square. There was actually no check after queen takes b4.
Oh, wow. Look at what Danya just did. He played queen e5, sacrificing the rook, but he went for a checkmate. Andrew has not finished it off yet, and he's down to 8 seconds, but he gets a queen trade in now. It's so... Oh, he's getting rid of the b pawn. That's huge.
Yeah, I think he's gonna take this one.
I think so too, because he's got the speed, but it's not over until it's over.
Oh my god, 2 bishops versus a king. Oh, it would have been a dead draw just a moment ago. White could have played bishop, king takes bishop.
Not... Oh, but look at this tech. Oh!
That was a stalemate. Nihal saved that game.
He was so close. He just had to wait 1 move and then play bishop e6 on the next turn. But Nihal gets away with a draw.
I think is this score correct? I thought it was tied going into that one. I think that it might be 4.5 if I'm not mistaken. I'll stand corrected in a moment.
I think Tang had a lead, and so he still has a lead, but it would have been 2 points had he won that one. Here we have another King's Indian, but Tang's got some weaknesses. C3 is weak, D5 a little weak, and maybe Nihal can start pushing that A-pawn at the right moment, and there he goes.
Yeah, that A-pawn is a passer. This rook on C5 is attacked, though. Knight E4, great counterpunch, forking the bishop on F2. That's a critical bishop there.
And there goes the c-pawn. Yeah, this is looking tough for Tang. I mean, a lot of weaknesses. The knight is loose. All of his pieces are very loose. Nihal should take this one.
Not to mention A4 is pending, and there we see it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, A3. Yeah, no, I said it. Like, the A-pawn is going to run. I don't see how you stop it here. I think Nihal's going to win this one. A2.
Yeah, I think best case scenario is to just sack it
A1?
for the knight B3. Oh, okay. No. Oh, okay. Allowing second queens. We're doing that today. Okay.
Yeah, but it's not. Oh, look at this! If you take the knight, queen d6 now, just.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah
anything.
Yeah.
Queen
Too
c5,
many queens.
Checkmate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, all tied up. In the meantime, Danya having a 2-point lead. It's still very early, but Vornik has to catch up sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and I'm actually liking Danya's position thus far. I think his pieces are all really active. I like what I'm seeing.
Yep. E5 in the meantime by Nihal. I like this kind of this punch in the center. And one thing that's a little bit concerning for Andrew Tang is that I feel like in a lot of games he's down on the clock.
Yeah, and that's something that's going to come into play, obviously. I also don't love his position. I feel like there's some the rook coming to E1 could be really dangerous. Okay, queen E1. That is a shocker to me.
Right. He just wanted to make sure this rook on A1 kept protecting the pawn on A4, but yeah, this looks unpleasant for Nihal. He's for Andrew. He's also down 15, almost 20 seconds on the clock. I mean, there goes a pawn.
Yeah, A5 here. Yeah, this is so unpleasant. The bishop can park on itself on D4. Bishop C5, bishop D4 is so annoying, and then you're threatening queen takes G5.
He's hanging in there though, but maybe rook E7. Yeah, queen C3. Good move to try to get the queens off, but bishop E6,
King
putting
F2.
the rook in jail.
Yeah, very good job by Andrew to get this far, though. But the time now, 10 seconds down, is going to be tough to overcome with this position where you have to be so precise.
Yeah, king F5, bishop F1, going after the pawns on the king side. Rook C2.
Rook C2. Yeah, that's fine. This king is trying, might make its way to B7. King D4
is so fast though, but is he? I mean, he's cutting into the time edge a little bit, but still down by like 6-7 seconds.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's too much. 9 seconds against 2, you don't overcome that. Oh, and there goes the rook. Wait, did Nihal hang the rook there at the end?
I think there was a mutual rook hang, and it didn't really matter given the time, but I think that's what happened there.
Right. Yeah, I mean, maybe if Andrew would have taken the rook, he would have been in time to get rid of the pawns, but yeah, the time disparity was just too much.
Yeah, and Tang's got to pick it up. He can't be 10 seconds down. He's a bullet king for a reason. Or should I say hyper bullet king? He's got to play just a little faster. Oh, b5. Oh, that's just 2 pieces. That's 2 pieces for the rook now. Although right, but we are so clear.
No, he's got a lot of pawns, but knight d5, nice move getting rid of that bishop. I think, maybe rook e7. Oh, wait, what just happened there? I think Nihal anticipated Andrew to take, and now all of a sudden Andrew's much better.
Yeah, and e5 here is annoying.
Yeah, there's still bishop g. Oh yeah, e5 and just take. Rook f2 looks a little slow though. Take.
Yeah, now this bishop actually is kind of active. This bishop on g5 now has something to do.
If you get H2, rook h3, great find. Rook a6 though. Oh, knight h4 was a threat.
What a messy position, honestly.
Yeah. Nihal creating a lot of counterplay. Knight h4, rook h2, all of those moves are coming in. Wow.
King f3, king takes h3, wow.
What a find by Andrew. He's getting rid of the rooks. I think that's huge. Now he can easily
a4, a5.
The pawns. Yeah, a6.
Down the yellow brick road.
Okay. I think he should win this one. b6.
Look at this race, dude. This race is insane.
Wait, how do you win this?
You don't.
But you win on time? I guess do you win this on time though? He's down on time. He's down. Oh, get rid of the pawn?
Don't you just pre-move the king as much as possible?
Can Andrew clutch this one? I mean, he should make sure that he still has like 1-2 seconds at the end to get rid of the pawn. Yeah, and that's what he does.
Wow. Wow. That was probably the most entertaining game of the match thus far to me. That was unbelievable. Both sides had their chances throughout. All right.
For sure.
Neil's like, screw it. I'm castling queenside. It's on like Donkey Kong. We're going to go g4, g5, and we're going to bust this position open.
But Tang does the same thing on the queen side. He goes c5, blasting open that side of the board. I like Andrew's chances here. I think the king b1 is just a little bit more airy.
I totally agree. Knight c4 makes that very clear. Looking at a3 and b2, it's a race, but I think black does hit faster.
Yeah, he picked the pawn on a3. g5 though by Nihal, creating chaos on the king side. gh6, queen e5. There goes another pawn. Wow, what is going on?
It's a mess. It's a mess.
Wait, knight b5? Oh, that was missed.
Yeah, very natural to trade queens there. Knight b5 was insane.
b4. Okay, it's advantage for Tang now.
Yeah, you like
trying to blast open the king side.
You like the bishop for sure in this position, and the king on a2 is not great. Rook f4 might be coming up next as well.
Yeah, and look at this. Oh, wow, he sacrifices the knight. If you take, look at this. Then there's take, h7, take rook dg1.
And rook g1, incredible tactics.
So Tang takes first on h5, clever find. Rook f4.
And f2 is hanging. F2 is hanging.
And there's no good discovery?
Wow.
Okay, take an f2. Trade the rooks, maybe. Make it okay. I would trade off one pair of rooks to make it easier, because now the 2 rooks for white are annoying. He's up. He should win this one. Up 7 seconds.
Oh, he missed c4 check. There was c4 check. Discovery.
Can Nihal hold? I don't think so. I think the time disparity is too much. Yeah, Tang throwing a couple checks now. Andrew hiding on a8. This should be a win. Yeah. No, you don't hold this.
Wait, why would you trade the rooks, though?
A win is a win is a win. He's up 6 seconds, and he gets the job done.
Would you trade the rooks in that situation, though, when you only have the rook pawn? You trust that your flagging skills in that situation?
I don't trust my flagging skills, but I trust Andrew's flagging skills. So, he's the specialist here.
Fair, very fair. Yeah, I don't trust my flagging skills in any situation. So, all right. So we have a little.
The only player I trust to flag is myself. I think I can get that done like 10 out of 10 times.
Right. So you have a little reversed Queen's Gambit declined here that Andrew Tang has. Again, he loves to play d5, e6 with black, so he played d4, d3 with the white, and he says, it's not that bad. Although I do kind of like black's position a little bit. I don't know. I feel like the pawns on the light squares can be kind of problematic later in the game, although maybe not yet.
Yeah, this looks very pleasant for Nihal, but look at the other side, Casa. It's all tied up in Danya versus Bornik as well, and we're getting down to our final 5 minutes. I mean, both matches can really go either way.
We might have 2 overtimes. I'm kind of sort of rooting for it, and we'll see. Do not trade queens here. Oh, wow. Wow, okay. I was like, Bornik was decided to trade queens. I was like, well, aren't you trying to attack? No, he's trying to spin that knight around. Maybe you go bishop f4 and stop knight g3.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Tang just hung a very important pawn. I think this should be... No, wait. I think this might still be a draw for Tang. Oh.
Yeah, the king... Maybe the king... Oh, yeah. No, that's not going to work.
No.
Yeah,
you just pick up h3, c4. He's getting the pawn to b7, but I don't think it's enough. Oh, there's a trick, though. You can go king. It's too much. And Nihal takes the lead.
It looks like... Well, it's actually quite messy. Oh, this pin is very annoying for Bornik on our right-hand side of the screen. F5! Now the rook on e1 is caught.
Okay, but even if you lose the bishop, he will have a lot of compensation. I don't know. He's also down on time, though.
Knight b5. This knight needs to deliver some checks. Knight d6, knight d4. The rook is trapped! The rook is trapped! King e4 wins the rook on d5. The rook is trapped!
And that should be a win for Bornik. But Danya's got the speed, though. 5. This is an easy win for Bornik.
Wow! That rook trap in the middle of the board was incredible.
Wow, what a find by Bornik, who takes a lead in this match. We have less than 4 minutes on the clock.
And you said it, right? You said that the knight would be tricky, and it indeed proved to be. And Danya has moved forward in his chair. He is locked in right now, trying to, catch up here because he knows this is a critical moment.
Yeah, and look at this. Nihal crushing it in the other game. I don't know why he gave up his... that was necessary, I guess. And he's also crushing it on the clock.
Yeah, this is 20 seconds up nearly is incredible. Mm-hmm. Although the knights might have something to say. Queen c4, maybe not trading the piece right away. Oh, yeah, Tang.
I think clever that Tang resigned there, giving himself more time for a comeback. He's down 2 points now, so he has to strike back in the next couple of games to go to overtime.
Yeah, that is true. Can you play queen takes f6 in Danya's game? No. Okay, did not go for that.
This line, by the way, is a Tang specialty. It's a very tricky line in the London, where black doesn't get the pawn back quite yet.
Yeah, and do you play
Queen
d1?
A little too passive.
I was wondering if you just go king e2 there. Now this king on e1, how do you castle?
Yeah, this is annoying. Knight d4 is trying to get rid of the bishop. Maybe bishop c4, and you're just sitting there with the bishops.
Yeah, I like that.
Good move.
c3.
Knight c4. And queen d5. No, rook d8.
b7.
You can win a piece here with b8.
Does b8 work? e5?
Nihal needs to have something in the next couple of moves. If Andrew castles, he's just down a piece. And yep, there we have it. The bishop on b8 is a little stuck there, though.
Yeah, but I like white's chances. It's going to take black a lot of time to actually wind up winning that piece.
And there goes the rook. The bishop, but queen d7. There's one check, but then you move the king.
Queen c2, queen g6, and you just try to play that position. You try to play queen c2, queen g6.
But black has queen. Oh,
yeah, right, and now you fight this out. This knight is on f5. Knight d6. Tricky.
Take the rook. Okay, Andrew up a pawn here. He needs to win this one to bring it back to
h4, h5. It's time. h4, h5.
It should be a win for Andrew. He's up a pawn, up a couple seconds, but Nihal so fast. h4, h5. I like the plan that you... I think it's also easy for white to check. Oh, wow.
And mate.
What a game.
Wow.
in the meantime, it's all tied up in the match between Bornik and Danya. Danya up a couple of pawns here, but Bornik going for the attack. What is going on? Bornik also down on time. I feel like he's down on time a lot.
Yeah, although it seems like Danya's king has found some security. I don't see how the white really adds pressure. I mean, you double the rooks, but then Danya trades the rooks.
Right, but now, maybe you... Oh, there goes H7, Rook H8. That traps the queen. Big win for Danya, taking the lead.
And we have 30 seconds left. Right now, we have 30 seconds left. Again, 2 points win. So if Nihal wins, it's going to be 9.5, 7.5.
Same for Danya. If Danya wins this game, the match is over. If Bornik wins or the game ends in a draw, we go to overtime. So... Wow, Nihal up a pawn here and up 8 seconds.
How do you even hold this? How do you hold this if you're Andrew?
I don't know. I mean, it looks tough. Maybe Rook D8. Good fine take on B3. Rook D3.
All right, I think he will hold this.
The time is... Okay, I think if he gets the pawn back, he should... Yeah, he should hold now.
Yeah.
Let's see if he will. Or do you think Andrew with the speed is going to go for the win?
Well, I mean, he's 6 seconds down. You think he can really make up that deficit here?
I don't know. I wouldn't think so, because Nihal also super fast, but the game ends in a draw. We are now in overtime. Oh, wow. Danya, by the way, he's crushing it. He's up 15 seconds and up 2 pawns.
And
this only up 1, but a dominant position.
This clinches the match if he wins here.
Yep. Bornik way down on time. We see queen trade. Rook E8.
He's gonna have to show some magic. He's gonna have to show some magic with his Alekhine knight here. He's gonna have to run or spin that around, try to make something happen.
I don't think he will. He's down a million pawns. Bishop D5 and B7. Rook B4 maybe. This is over. Yeah, that's it.
Knight F3. Rook G1 mate. Nope. Okay. None of that today. All right, so
great win for Danya, and he is our first semi-finalist in the winner's bracket.
Yeah, Danya has won his match, so we're going to focus on the Tang Nihal match here. Again, if Nihal wins, he is up 2 points.
Right, but Tang up a pawn, and time is approximately even. Can Tang win this one? Knight H4 headed to G6,
or F5. Knight F5, knight hitting the G7 pawn might be something in the future as well.
Right, that's why Nihal moved his knight back to D6. We see a knight trade now. There goes D5, Rook F7, stopping Rice from getting the rook to the 7 rank. Rook. I would be scared to take, because Rook C8. Rook C8 maybe, threatening mate?
For sure. And I think Nihal's getting the activity he needs with the B5, B4 coming.
Yeah. Oh, Rook C7. No, I think Andrew's going to take this one. This looks too tough to defend in a bullet game. Nah, I don't think you hold these. Oh, he's got a lot of checks, though. Check. Rook H4, but still, I mean...
Good defense. It must be said. Good defense so far.
Yeah, but white can always pre-move. Okay, I think it's good that he traded off a pair of rooks. But only 2 seconds now.
Oh my goodness.
Still easier for Tang to pre-move. Can he clutch this one out? I think he will. I mean, he's got the speed. He is.
Keep that rook on the 6th rank. That's what you do. You keep the
rook on
the... Oh!
I don't know if there's enough moves left now, though. No, I think it's going to be a draw. I don't think there's enough. What? How did he get that done? That was insane. He moved his king all the way to the E file to avoid a 3-fold repetition.
That's what I'm going to call bullet triangulation. He needed to waste enough time and not repeat moves as well. And my goodness, he did it.
Wow. Yeah, he knew that Nihal could... Like, it's tough for Nihal to pre-move king h7 in case white ever goes king to g6. So Nihal is just pre-moving king g8, king h8. But then you don't give yourself the opportunity to take the pawn. In the meantime, Nihal is losing, and he's down a lot of time.
Yeah, I would be shook from that last game, too. It's tough to recover that fast. But there's still a lot of game left, and he's not too far down the clock. I might just go for G4 in one of these moves. And that's the queen. There
goes the queen. And it's match point for Andrew Tang. If he wins another game, the match is over. Wow, let's see if Nihal can come back. I mean, 2 very tough losses in a row.
Yeah, and the tide is completely turned. And here we are back in Queen's Gambit. decline exchange variation territory. Andrew plays this with both colors and knows it pretty well. Got to play a3? No. Okay, we don't care about knight b4. Okay.
Yep. H3 hitting the bishop, maybe now knight f4, or moving a rook to d1. I think Andrew likes these positions. A little easier to play for white. I mean, where black has the weaknesses.
Yeah, I think a lot easier. This knight comes to d4, starts to look at f5 or e6. b3 I don't like, though. It's it's different. All right.
Still, white's king is sitting a little bit safer on g1. Also, the pawn on e6 is a little bit soft. So I like Andrew's queen a3. Nice move, hitting a7, knight e5. Wow.
Yeah,
so
queen d6 now. Queen d6 now. Rook c7 and queen takes e6 is threatened. This is just lost.
Knight d7 or queen d8 still. Knight c6
Knight
instead.
C6.
Queen a8. Oh, but knight e7 and he takes on e6. I think he's clinching this one.
Queen f5.
Where's the
Knight
win,
G6,
though?
knight
Oh, there goes the knight!
Knight g6 first. It was knight g6 first. Yeah.
Wow. And now Nihal is in the driver's seat. And Andrew, clearly thrown off there, is also down on time.
Queen e6, still perpetual chances here. No, queen c2 stops it. Gotta give these knight g8. Very nice move.
Yeah, Nihal hanging on to his pawns. Queen c4 now. Queen e2, but now he can bring the knight back.
Wow.
This should be a win for Nihal.
Queen takes c4. Wait, why'd give up that pawn?
I don't know. He's hitting f3. Okay.
Incredible.
Oh, there goes the queen.
Oh, queen takes d6.
And Nihal ties it up. A game Andrew should have won, but it's all tied up, 10-10. Yeah.
And again, this is win by 2, folks. So we're getting 10 games of overtime until someone wins by 2. So we're going to see if anyone can separate from the other.
Right. We have some mainline Catalan theory here. Andrew up a pawn here, knight d5. Perhaps Nihal can get some
B3 might be
compensation.
incoming. Yeah, B3 is always incoming in these positions. Although B4, you always have to wonder if they get B4. It's usually hard to break it down.
Right, it takes with the bishop hanging on to the pawn on c3. These positions are not easy for black to play. Knight g5 threatening checkmate. I think g6 might be forced.
Yeah, and now it's a mess. Rook d1, d5, all the pieces for white spring to life. Bishop e3, bishop f4. Okay, you want to give that knight on c5 first. Yeah.
But look at the clock. Here. Andrew up 10 seconds, and I think he's doing very fine here on the board.
Oh, knight g4 is a brilliant move. f5. Wow.
Wow, and he sacrificed the exchange, and he can now take an f2. I think Andrew's going to take this one. Knight df6, perhaps? Yep.
Yeah. Queen c5, maybe? Oh, no, excuse me. The knight on e6 is there. I stand corrected. That knight is still there.
Oh, he wins the... Oh, no, that was not the way to do it.
He forgot about the knight on e6. He forgot about the knight on e6 like I forgot about the knight on e6. And
he's down a piece, but up a couple seconds. Nihal catching up, though. Rook a1 looks annoying to pin.
Too much time, it looks like.
Probably,
knight f2
too much
trade.
time for... Oh,
takes
there
h6.
goes h6.
Mm-hmm.
Knight h5, maybe it'll be... Yeah. Still a 3-second lead on the clock for Andrew. This is not over yet, but Nihal has the easier moves now.
Way easier. And
e4? No. The rook was protected anyway.
Yeah,
but,
knight f3, rook c2, pinning and winning. Why not bishop d2? I'm going to trade it immediately.
It's tied on the clock. Nihal taking a lead now. But Andrew's got the speed. Let's see if he can maybe create a comeback here. I think Nihal can pre-move everything now. I think it's too much. Oh, there goes the bishop.
Oh! Just in the nick of time. Nihal is like, yeah, maybe didn't deserve that one at the end, but he definitely clutched it up and got it. And he's up 11-10.
Yeah, and let's remind everybody, we're still in overtime. We are only in 4 games, so they will continue playing until somebody has a 2-point lead.
I love it. It brings me back to every pickup game I've ever played on a New York City basketball court. It's usually win by 2. So I love that we've thrown that into the chess element as well here, and we're seeing it's really hard to get that separation. So crazy.
Yeah, we are currently looking for the game. I mean, I'm sure they're already on their way. Looking at the cameras, I feel like they've started, but we don't see the camera in. They've
It looks
started.
like
We're
they
trying to get the
haven't.
game. Stand
It
by,
looks like
everyone.
they haven't started yet because they're both kind of look like they're waiting for something.
They have started. We're in game number 5. We'll pull it up in just a second. People are saying Andrew tied it up.
All right, we're definitely gonna get word in just a moment, so stay with us, please.
I just had a sneak peek at Andrew's stream. He did tie it up, and they've now started another game.
It must be said though, thus far, I mean, it's been anyone's match. I mean, just the twists and turns, and I'm very surprised with the Queen's Gambit declined debate that's been going on here. We've seen Nihal castle queenside a bunch of times. We've seen Andrew try to castle kingside, and when he's playing the white side of these setups and play positionally, it's been a total zoo. It's in a total mess.
Incredible match so far. Yeah, I really thought Andrew was gonna clinch it in that one game where he was up a pawn with the rook on the 7 ring, but then all of a sudden he hung his knight. And I mean, just when you think one player is gonna clutch it, the other one brings it back. So, yeah, who knows what's gonna happen? Oh, in the meantime, Nihal is looking like he's gonna win another game and take the lead. Yeah, and he does.
Yeah, so we're just getting things up here, so bear with us a moment. But yeah, Nihal is going to be up a point with one game to go.
Right. In the meantime, Andrew up a pawn, but Nihal having a lot of compensation. And Nihal also, like, I feel like every game, Andrew is down a little bit of time.
Here we are. We have the game in front of us, and yeah, white is up a pawn and a pass pawn at that with the bishop pair, but that rook and h1's not in the game, and it's starting to get in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. So, yeah, let's see what's going on here.
Wow,
yeah,
F4 surprised
time. Yeah, me too. Maybe he can go g4 now to break open the king side, and that's what he does.
Yeah, now rook h1, attack from the other side.
We have the game right here. Yeah, here we have it. Okay, b6, clever move by Nihal, dislodging the bishop from the defense of the b6 pawn. Apparently, rook h6 needs to be fine. And rook g6. Oh, you take the rook. You win the rook on d7. That's it. And Andrew's going to tie it up again. g4.
I don't know.
Rook f8 and f5. Yeah.
Wow. And we're at 11-all, folks. We are tied again. We are, 5 games in and still tied? Crazy.
Yeah. This is incredible. Wait, where's the next game? Oh, apparently the game was aborted. Maybe there's some technical issue, but I'm sure.
So, no, the next game is not underway yet. They're about to start right now in a moment, but they have to rematch each other first.
In the meantime, big shout out to Diane Naroditsky in the chat. All right, and we are underway. Okay, we have another Queen's Gambit decline with a very early knight to c6 by Andrew. Normally you don't. Okay, yeah, I like what he's doing again, creating counterplay on the queen side.
Yeah, every game it's castle long, castle long. Who's gonna hit first? And it seems like Nihal is hitting first. Queen e4, queen h4 is coming.
This looks terrifying with the knight jumping to f6. How do you, and the other knight at e5?
Oh my goodness.
I think you get, but Andrew is not checkmated yet. Queen h7 maybe, hitting the bishop.
Queen f4. I would have gone queen f4, knight d5. Queen f, okay. How is Andrew holding this together right now? This can't.
Rook h8, does that trap the queen?
We saw
but
I
guess there's a knight sec, knight g6. Yeah, knight g6 now is forced. Yeah, take. Okay, now I don't know what you do. Okay, he takes with the knight. Wow, what defense from Andrew. And the king is safe.
For Andrew to survive, this is insane. Absolutely insane. So you take with the
pawn,
e5,
maybe? But now e4, and there goes
king
the bishop.
C6,
maybe queen
king c6.
Well, or c6. He's building a wall of pawns. Still feels a little airy. Queen h6. Oh, but you get a queen, you lose a rook. This should be a win for Nihal.
Still some more work to be done. F5 breaking up the pawn structure there. A5, B5, B4. Still some work to be done here.
Yeah, not over yet. But A4, great move, breaking up the pawn on C4. This looks too much.
Yeah, now rook takes B5. Yeah.
And now it's easy with just one rook against just king takes C4 and pre-move rook A1 checkmate. And Nihal takes the lead.
All right, we are in what? Is this game 7 now or this game 6 or 7? And Andrew has to, this is game 9. And Andrew has got to respond. And here we go. Knight on H5 is hanging. Knight back to D3. This is definitely reminiscent of some London structures that we've seen already. I like Tang's position so far in the long term. Short term there, his king might be a little airy, and rook E3 is a really nice exchange sack. Take advantage of that.
Yep. Knight D4, but Andrew, Queen D6, nice move, threatening check or checkmate on H2, so Knight F3 back was forced. I think Nihal doing very fine here, position approximately even, and a slight lead on the clock. But let's remind everybody, we are currently in overtime. This is game number 9. They have to win by 2, but once the overtime is over, then win by 1 is also enough.
And I like what Andrew's done the last few moves. He basically has put a little bit of pressure with this pin. Again, it is a symmetrical position, but he has some chances here.
Right, we see a queen trade. Okay, Andrew, a little bit better, I'd say. Maybe take, check on rook C8 and rook C7, although there's rook B5.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. It's a very equal position right now, but if this king starts to activate, this white king on E2, the rook's giving a lot of checks, things are going to happen.
I don't think Andrew will get it on rook E5. It's already getting very close to a 3-fold repetition. Also, Nihal's up on the clock. Oh, rook trade was offered, but declined.
And now this king might get a little active, hopefully.
Even though it is not a must-win game yet, Andrew, of course, this looks scary, though. I mean, you're locking in your own rook, and king H4 is a big threat. Oh, that was not the right capture.
Some chances here for Andrew.
Yeah, there in the time scramble, there goes the pawn. I think this is easier for white. You just push the pawns, don't trade the rooks. And you can always give up your own rook for the pawn. Yeah, take it and be...
no, the king is way too close. The king is way too close. And that's...
Can Nihal? Nah, he should be able to get it done. He just gets the pre-moves in, and this should be a win. And that is it.
Wow. And we see Nihal celebrating there just ever so slightly. He did clutch it up in the end with 1.1 seconds on his clock. He did get the 2-point victory and won in overtime. What a match, Benjamin.
What a match, what a match. Wow, yeah, it really could have gone either way. Just when you thought Andrew was clinching it, then Nihal came back. And yeah, Nihal wins in the end.
All right, let's take a look at this bracket because we just had a lot of frenetic chess here. So where are we now? We have Nihal in the winner's semifinals. He's going to basically face off against the winner of a few matches that have been yet to be resolved between Nakamura and Christopher Yu and Dave Peravia and MVL. We'll see what shapes up in that area a bit later. And we have here at the bottom, Danya did beat Alexander Bortnik and will also be awaiting the winner of Firouzja Fedoseev and Jasvam versus Sam Sevian, and then whoever wins those matches. So yeah, they're going to be in the winner's circle waiting on those matches. We'll see who gets out to face them.
It'll probably be Hikaru, but yeah, you know, that's a very hot take. It's a very hot take, I know. But yeah, I mean, still lots of chess to be played today. We still have lots more exciting matches. We have, yeah, as you mentioned, Hikaru against Christopher Yu, Peravia against MVL. So yeah, lots more chess to look forward to. What else do we have, Kasa?
No question, Matt. We do have lots of chess to get forward to, but before we get back to it, calling all disc golf fans, Chess.com now has an official disc golf pro tour club. Join the DGPT club to connect with fellow players, compete in tournaments, and unlock special home of official disc golf coverage, bringing you live broadcasts of events like the Chess.com earlier this year. So join the club and claim your offer at go.chess.com/discgolf or use !DGPT in chat now. We'll be back with round 1 for Hikaru, Firouzja, and more. Stay with us.
Obviously, don't go and do that.
Now, you do whatever you like.
We can't condone anything of the sort.
No, we can't live!
Hi, I'm Grandmaster Anish Giri, and welcome to Left-Hand Repertoire's 1e4. The so-called Latvian gambit is horrible. F5, knight takes e5. This is not how chess is played. He played too many moves with pawns and the queen, and didn't develop his light pieces. And if knight e4, this is a very important trick to remember. Many people fall for it, actually. Knight to b5, brilliant idea. ab and queen g7, and after rook f8, bishop h6, queen c5 and f3, and surprisingly, queen f2 is almost checkmate, but it's not. If your opponent wants to be solid, we go for aggressive for the kill. If your opponent wants us to go for the kill, we play simple chess. And just use the fact that we have more space in the center, clear-cut plans, and nothing to worry about.
Blink and you'll miss it. This year's Speed Chess season kicks off with the annual Bullet Chess Championship. 16 of the world's fastest players are fighting it out for $100,000 in the most exciting time control in chess.
Oh my goodness!
For Hikaru Nakamura, his 5th Bullet Chess Championship title feels almost inevitable.
This guy's just a beast.
For Firouzja, he's trying to recreate his flow from 2021.
This is the champion.
But in order to win, one must go through a gauntlet of the best players in the world. Get ready for time scrambles and death slams, brilliancies and blunders. Lock in, the Bullet Chess Championship fires off right now.
Welcome back to the 2024 Bullet Chess Championship. We are here. We have Jospum, aka Jose Martinez, on screen here, and he is going to be vying today to try to make it through the winners round 1 to the quarterfinals. And he is one of a number of players now that are going to get back to it right now. So we're taking a look at this bracket. We have Hikaru, the man, the legend himself, playing Christopher Yu. That's going to be an interesting matchup. And we have David Paravian playing MVL, the Frenchman with 3 names. So that'll also be intriguing. Then if you go a little bit further down, you have Alireza Firouzja playing Vladimir Fedoseev and Jose Martinez, aka Jospum, playing Sam Sevian. Which matchup are you most interested in right now, Benjamin?
Yeah, definitely Jose Martinez against Sam Sevian. I think that one has potential to be close. Also, the matchup between Paravian and MVL. MVL was one of the invitees. Paravian had to qualify, but Paravian is very experienced in a bullet format. I think that can definitely be a close one. It's kind of funny. Christopher, you and I, we were playing a tournament in St. Louis, and he was saying, "Oh, I play against Hikaru in the first round of the Bullet Chess Championship," and people were like, "Yeah, I have no advice to give you. You know, it's going to be tough." But Casa, let's talk a little bit about the matchup between Firouzja and Fedoseev.
Yeah, that is going to be our featured matchup this round, and part of the reason is because both of these guys have demonstrated incredible prowess on Chess.com for years now. I can recall when Firouzja was first coming on the scene, and people were like, "Who is this guy?" And then he really did realize most of what folks said he ultimately should become, and he's really a top player now. And on the other hand, Vladimir Fedoseev, aka Big Fish, is just killing it, online. So it's going to be really interesting to see this matchup. And yeah, I'm not so sure which way it should go. Where do you stand on this one, Benjamin?
Yeah, Fedoseev truly is a big fish, but I think in the bullet, Firouzja definitely is quite a significant favorite. So I'm going to give the edge to Firouzja.
Very fair, very fair. I think one thing I'm taking a look at just with this graphic here, or that we just had on the screen, was the scramble strength. It seemed like Firouzja's level didn't really drop too much in the time scrambles, even though he does tend to take a decent amount of time early on in the games. And I think even in classical chess, in some candidates tournaments, he's been one to burn a lot of time, but he's definitely able to recover in the time scrambles. Now, on screen, we have Firouzja snacking on a little something. It looks like Fedoseev is doing a little bit of the same, and these guys are both kind of locked in. So be very exciting to see this one kick off.
Exactly. And you might think, well, the Bullet Chess Championship, that's a tournament Hikaru wins every year. Well, that's not quite the case. Casa, let's have a look at our previous winners. Hikaru did win in 2019 and 2020, but in 2021, it was Alireza Firouzja. I believe he beat Hikaru in the semis. However, in the last 2 years, Hikaru did win.
Yeah, Hikaru has had a stranglehold on this event. He's just really fast, and the combination of speed,
really good.
Yeah, just the combination of speed and skill is really the secret sauce here. And Firouzja is one of the guys that has that combination of speed or skill that can contend with Hikaru. So we'll see if they're a meaningful challenge to Hikaru this year.
Yeah, it's a bit of a pity that Magnus is not playing this year, but I think Firouzja definitely can still pose a challenge to Hikaru. Yeah, in the meantime, they're getting ready. I think I'll be surprised if this will be a close one between Firouzja and Fedossev. I think Firouzja is a pretty big favorite, but again, in the matchups between Paravian and MVL, Martinez against Sevian, I think those ones are going to be close.
Yeah, I do like MVL versus Paravian. I think the one that I'm really thinking could be really close is Jose Martinez versus Sam Sevian. I have no I have no conception of Sam Sevian's bullet game, and we know Jose is very, very talented in time scrambles, given his success in Title Tuesday. So we'll see how it develops. So there is no increment here. Again, this is 1+0, so we'll see how it goes. And both guys look pretty stoic and locked in. Look at Sam there, just not even blinking right now.
Yep, and Jose Martinez, he just came off winning the Clash of Claims against Vladimir Kramnik. I'm sure that's also going to give him a boost for his confidence. However, today we are playing bullet chess. We are not playing 3+2. I mean, compared to this, 3+2 must feel like classical chess.
No question about it. We have the match format on screen just to remind folks. It's 30 minutes of 1-0. There's no increment. It's 1 point for a win, half point for a draw, and we have this win by 2 format. So at the end of the 30 minutes, if neither side is winning by at least 2 points, it goes to an overtime session where we play 10 games or until someone is winning by 2. So we've seen this already happen. We had overtime in a few matches already, and we'll see if we get at least one in this next round of matches. So that's what you have to look forward to. Some really fun bullet chess, and yeah, hopefully some really close matches.
Yeah, and just to remind everybody, the overtime it lasts for 10 games. So if nobody is leading by 2 after 10 games, then it's just a win by 1. We were about to see that in the match between Nihal and Tang, but Nihal won in the 9th overtime game.
Yeah, I was just shocked that it kept going back and forth like that. Like, I was like, wow. And it was also in the same opening. They're having this opening debate over many, many games. But we're just about to get underway. I'm so excited for this. We're getting the best of the best showing their stuff right now. It's super cool. Super cool.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're going to see Hikaru. Yeah, I mean, facing off against Hikaru in the first round is scary. I remember 2 years ago, Brandon Jacobson played Hikaru in the first round, and Brandon only got half a point out of 20 games. I mean, it's nice for him that he did not get double adopted, but it was rough. It was rough.
Yeah, and again, the tilt is a very real thing. When you lose 2, 3, 4 games in a row and you don't get a breather, a break in between, it is so easy to feel a little bit deflated. I mean, it's just kind of human nature. I think the thing that kind of separates the good from the great players here, in addition to their speed and their skill, is just being able to move on from a game, play a different setup, and just kind of forgive and forget. It's almost like a fuel kicker mentality for folks that are aware of the NFL. If you miss a kick, you just move on to the next.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And yeah, so let's see how Christopher Yu will do. I mean, he's also very good in bullet. Yeah, Hikaru, he's just kind of in a class of his own. So yeah, Kasa. I mean, my prediction. Let's do a few predictions. I think Hikaru is going to win. I think Firouzja is going to win. I'm going to give the edge to Jospin, and I'm going to give the edge to Paravian. What are your picks?
Wow. Okay. I'm going to give the edge. I agree with everything you said, except I'm going to go with MVL over Paravian. I think MVL is so good in finding quick tactics to kind of, mix things up. And I think I'm thinking or expecting he'll overwhelm Paravian tactically in these time scrambles.
Yep, we see Hikaru getting ready here. He's looking pretty relaxed. I mean, if you're that good, I mean, you probably are relaxed.
And he's streaming it. I mean, so he's talking a little bit. He's bobbing the head. He's getting into that flow state, and yeah, it's just different. The energy in the air is different. It'll be. I expect, by the way, Hikaru will have a lot of knight f3, b3, knight f3, e3. A lot of that. I think he'll have a lot of games where his dark squared bishop is fianchetted on b2.
Probably, yeah. Now the thing sometimes with Hikaru is that at the beginning of these matches he can be sometimes a little too chilled out, but sooner or later you know that he's going to find his footing, and that's when it's going to be tough. I mean, you're going to lose some games in a row. It's almost a guarantee against Hikaru.
Yeah. Now we also have Fedoseev and Firouzja on screen. Firouzja also is kind of locked in. I don't think he's probably streaming this one. Although you are allowed to stream these events. But it seems like he's going to be locked in as well. I'm kind of curious what Fedoseev's approach is going to be. Like normally when he plays these like rapid and blitz events, he does essay a lot of Caruana. He can play a lot of those moves kind of quickly. I'm curious whether he's going to stay in his Caruana lane. I don't know. I expect Firouzja to crank out E4 a bunch.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm quite excited to see Hikaru play Bullet, because usually when I watch him, it always looks easier than it actually is. It's like, yeah, of course he plays the move. Of course he plays that move. But when you play yourself, it's hard to make good moves quickly. But the consistency in his game is just incredible. So let's see if he can bring his A game as well in this matchup against Christopher Yu.
Yeah. Moving under duress. I mean, I could write a book on this because most people, basically their level changes, but also their disposition and their character change, their countenance. That's the word I'm looking for. And some of these top guys, they play the same. Their disposition, their countenance is the same with 10 seconds left as it is with 40 seconds left, and that's just insane. Like, it's unbelievable discipline. And I wonder, Benjamin, if it's something that can be trained, if it's something where you basically teach yourself to be stoic in these scrambles.
Right. Now, people might be wondering why the games have not started yet. Apparently, there was something wrong with Hikaru's air conditioning. So it seems like somebody's at his house to fix it. But the games are going to get underway any second now. So yeah, let's hopefully that will be fixed soon.
It's hot in Florida this time of year. I can say that. It is.
You want that AC to be working, yeah.
You need it to be working. And some might say Florida is kind of not the ideal place to be in the thick of the summer. It is safe to say. So the AC is critical. We also were doing some fair play checks. As you know, it's important for every event, even Bullet. And yeah, we're just sorting out some of these, technical difficulties, and we'll be right underway. So it gives me a little bit more time to discuss some of these matchups. What do you see like with the MVL Paravian matchup as far as openings are concerned? Like, where's Paravian gonna go? MVL.
Paravian, he just sticks to his guns. He will just go E4, play main lines as white. So I think, yeah, Paravian's going to go E4. MVL will play the Najdorf, and Paravian will play Bishop G5. He's just going to, make it as sharp as possible, go for mainline, heavy mainline theory. And with black, Paravian will probably defend himself with the Petrov. Now, given the fact that there's quite a bit at stake, I do expect the players to come up with some sort of preparation.
Yeah, I actually have seen a number of Paravian's games in the Bishop G5 Najdorf, and he is booked up. I can tell you that much. Also with the Petrov, I've seen it as well. I've seen him introduce near novelties in the Petrov in Title Tuesday. So he is someone that definitely is booked up, and that might help to narrow the gap a little bit as far as the strength is concerned, because we do know MVL has been a top player in the world for nearly a decade. So we'll see if Paravian's able to edge up that gap with opening prep.
Yeah, I'm curious to see whether MVL will play the Najdorf or if he will play something else. And by the way, Casa, you called it. Hikaru indeed goes Najdorf 3, B3, Bishop B2, gets all of these moves in.
Yeah.
Christopher going for an early check on B4.
And Christopher is prepared because hold
Rook is gone.
It's Rook on A8. Is that a problem?
Yeah, it's gone. I mean,
Yeah,
Hikaru just up the exchange now.
Yeah, although it will be hard for white to finish the development of the king side. F3 is a nice move, just making sure the bishop can get out without losing G2. Although I do think black might have some practical play here with knight E5, maybe something with queen H4. H5, H4 might also be interesting, although E4 is a threat.
Right, so E4, I mean, there is knight G4 that you have to calculate. I guess just king G1, knight E3. Not that easy just yet.
E4, knight g4, king e2. No big deal.
Oh.
Two diagonals away from the knight.
Yeah, but there's just too many trades now. Queen c3, covering some queens, key squares, bishop e2, rook d1.
Rook
I think this is
D1.
going to be the first game for Hikaru.
I'm shocked that g3 is played. Rook c1, queen c7. Just trade now.
Yeah, rook c2 defending the pawn. Queen c7 now, hitting the bishop. Where do you even go to a8?
Yeah, because bishop a6, queen takes a7 wins a piece because of that pin.
But queen c8, and then you win the bishop as well. So Hikaru takes the first game. Let's see why Christopher blitzes out h4, h5 in the opening. I like it.
And h6, and look at that pawn. That pawn is a menace to society on h6, really making it hard for the black piece to develop. I like Christopher's position so far.
I like the way how Christopher plays bullet. He plays very aggressively. He does not care. He's just going for the attack. And Hikaru, I mean, any other player would be so annoyed by having that bishop on f8, but Hikaru often manages these positions quite well.
Yeah, I don't think Christopher should be trying to trade pieces here. I don't love the last few moves with bishop b5 because it just seems like you're potentially getting some trades in. And Hikaru seemed to have taken the sting out of the early h6 stuff.
Yeah, he's won a pawn in the center, rook a8. He's up a pawn here and up a lot of time. That's a stat we learned before the match that after 20 moves, on average, Hikaru is up 4.5 seconds on the clock.
And he's up 20 seconds now, and he's just secured the queen.
Wow, yeah. It's not over yet, though. That pawn on h6 is still annoying, and therefore Christopher plants his bishop on g7, but I don't see how you create any more threats.
I do like this bishop g7 move. There is some potential now with the knights hopping, maybe knight b5, knight d6, but as long as Hikaru controls those knights, bishop f6 is a nice move.
Yeah, queen c2. I think that's going to be it. There's just not enough for Christopher, and he's down to 8 seconds. So Hikaru takes a 2-0 lead.
Right, and blistering speed, folks. And again, we have knight f3, b3, bishop b2. Again, Hikaru loves these types of setups here. Knight c5. I like the way Christopher's handling it thus far. Knight takes a4, maybe. Knight takes a4, knight c3 was actually really strong.
Perhaps that's what he should have gone for. He's got the double pawns on the c file, but he's got more space in the center, so he's definitely hanging on here. In the meantime, Firouzja is up a point in his match against Fedoseev, and it looks like he's about to make it 2.
Yeah, and look at that king is on f3. It's just getting pillaged here. Has no emperor with no clothes, so that is a 2-0 lead. And here we are. We got 2-0 in both matchups. I do kind of like what Christopher has been doing in his game against Hikaru thus far, and he's up a piece.
He's up a piece. Yeah, Hikaru definitely has some compensation. He's got 2 pawns. But, if Christopher wants to have a chance, he needs to win this game. Difficult to convert, though.
Yeah, I think you want to maybe play queen f6, h4, f6. Interesting. I wouldn't have touched my king side anymore. This is going to be a tough conversion with queen a5 now. These pawns are a bit loose. Although maybe queen e3
queen g3 and bishop e4. You cannot take on c5. Bishop e4, I think it's just going to be checkmate. Bishop h3. Queen e4
yeah, you can
still.
take that pawn. King g7, king h6. The king runs. Bishop f5.
This should be a win for Christopher, but Hikaru's got a lot of pawns on the queen side.
Way too many pawns.
This looks very dangerous, and there
White is winning. Look at these pawns. Look at the Spanish Armada of pawns.
Bishop h5. Wow, look at this. Bishop f3 and h2, h1.
h2. It's a mating net, and you can't avoid it.
Wow, nice win there for Christopher. I mean, here's the thing. You know that against Hikaru, you might lose the match, but of course you want to win some games. So, great win for Christopher. And, for the moment, it's only 1 game for Hikaru.
Huge turnaround there. And Christopher's got to feel confidence coming out of that. And I like his position here. Has a nice space advantage. Pieces in the center. Connected the rooks. I like it. I like what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah, and I feel like Hikaru definitely is a little bit tilted. We see a trade on d5. Okay, knight f3 hitting e7, defending. Okay, don't know about recapturing the pawn, because now he's always got a weakness.
These trades, though, are just so favorable for Hikaru. I mean, you do not want to trade all these pieces. You want to have pieces on the board and have some potential attacking chances. There are no attacking chances here, in my opinion. I mean, just Isolani. That's it.
But Casa, look at the clock. He's up 15 seconds. That's just so much time in bullet. I don't know how he does it. Like, you blink your eyes, you're out of the opening, and Hikaru is up 15, 20 seconds. Like, what?
Yeah, I mean, basically, you're just playing for setups, right? He's getting setups he likes. Queen trades, I'm not a fan. I would have gone Queen G5, Knight G4, and tried to keep something on the board, even if it was a dubious setup. This is just going to be an easy conversion for Hikaru.
Yeah, and he once again opens up a 2-point lead. Let's check in with the match between Paravian and MVL. Let's see where.
And I gotta say, I swear I didn't talk to Hikaru before the match. He's played Knight F3, B3, Bishop B2 every white game. So
yeah, he often does that in bullet. He really likes those setups. Let's see if we can find a matchup between Paravian and MVL. In the meantime, we see Jose Martinez is down a point. Like I said, I mean, Sevian also very experienced in bullet. I think that's going to be a close one.
Yeah, we have Paravian up 3-1 already, and it seems like he's getting somewhere here with his double pawn stack. Bishop is now on an excellent diagonal, can go to c4. B6 might be a threat sooner rather than later. I'm liking White's position, even though he's down a pawn.
And 95, nice move MVL, but yeah, I told you before the match, Paravian is an absolute beast in bullet chess. So, I mean, he's doing great, but I'm not completely shocked.
I feel like the Shaq meme. My apologies. I wasn't familiar with your game, your bullet game. That is. This is a remarkable display thus far.
Yeah, I mean, he's here for a reason. He had to qualify, which is very difficult. You have to beat a lot of good players to get here in the first place. But he's shown that he's definitely he deserves to be here.
Yeah, and again, Paravian has been known for a while for having actually
really F3, excellent preparation. And there's no checks.
Rook H1.
Nobody's stopping it. Wait, is there a win? Oh, Queen F8.
Bishop G8. Bishop G8. Bishop G8. Bishop G8.
But then Queen F3. Wait, where's the win? I don't see it. Queen F. He's going for the draw, I think, because of the time. Wait, is there a win? I don't. What was the win cost? I have no idea.
No idea. Bishop G8 was my best guess, but Queen F3 would have been fine. All right, so we have a Petrov. We have a Petrov here, by the way. Paravian is showing off his Petrov, and wow, what a mess! What is this? This is a theoretical line. I've seen this one in the game between I think it was between Vidit and Nepo.
Right. I also remember a game from the European Team Championship where a good friend of mine, Nicholas Theodore, crushed Rajabov in 20 moves.
Yes. Yes.
Very tricky line. And you have to know what you're doing with both sides. I mean, if you don't know what you're doing with black, you can get checkmated. If you don't know what you're doing with white, you're down a rook. That's what we're seeing right here.
And we see the eval bar jumping up and down like it's line dancing. So it's obviously tough position to navigate.
Right. I mean, it's only an exchange at this point, but black's got massive pressure on the knight on f3. This has to be win for Paravian.
Yeah,
and it is 3-point lead.
And that game, by the way, was just Paravian did not have to do much to get that game. It really just shows how much the preparation could factor in your favor. He got a free point essentially.
Yeah. In the meantime, Jossam is now 3 points in his match, but he's about to make it 2 because he's crushing in this game against Sevian. There's no doubt in my mind that this is going to be a win.
Yeah, I agree with that. And yeah, you can even sack on c3 now, and that's what he does. Yeah, deals with that Hail Mary B pawn as well, and now it's going to be a clear win. No stalemates though. Come on, you don't need 5 queens, Jose. You don't need 5 queens. Come on.
2 is more than enough, and Sevian is just stalling it out now because he's up in the match, so he's taking his time.
I don't think I've seen stalling yet today. So, rook takes e4. Do you see this tactic on the left-hand side of your screen? Rook takes e4, king takes e4, bishop f5 would have been a stunning, I think, checkmate, actually. Wouldn't even won the queen. It would have been checkmate.
Right, another win there crushing win there for MVL, and now it's down to 2 points. In the meantime, Christopher Yu is hanging in there. He's only down 2 points. But anyway, let's see what's happening here. MVL going for mainline Petrov theory. And
I played the black side of these positions. G4 stands out like a sore thumb, though. Not normally goes down in that exact position. Black is fine, even though I spoke
That's
too
a
soon.
pretty big pawn.
That knight needed to be on d5. I was going to say, once the knight gets
Yeah.
to d5, black is fine, but no, this is a different story.
But this is not over. I mean, maybe we'll see a queen trade. This looks unpleasant for black. I think in a classical game, you might draw this, but in a bullet game, the pawns on the queen side are weak. White has a majority in the center. I think MVL's got great chances to win this one.
I agree. I think it'll be really tough to hold. And now the king, if it manages to get to d5, is gonna be very hard to hold together the fortress. I think, unfortunately for MVL, the black king got there really quickly.
Yeah, but now it's an easy draw. You pre-move bishop b5, bishop d4, or this.
Yeah. To be honest, I kind of like black's chances now.
Okay, yeah, there goes h3, and now you come back to f4. Oh wait, there goes e4
B3.
and f5. Oh no, now MVL gets the blockade. Maybe f5 was winning there.
Yeah, it was. Now this is a clear blockade, and it's going to be easy to hold.
Paravian could have maybe tried to flag him there, put the bishop on c8, c5, and then walk the king to c7, so you can pre-move bishop 5, bishop c8.
Yeah, he didn't, but that would have been a tenacious way to keep it going, especially with the lead. Maybe we will see a little bit more stalling with the lead, like we just saw with Sam Sevian. So we'll see. All right, so we have at least a 2-point advantage on every single matchup so far. So where do you want to focus?
Yeah, let's stick with this one for the moment. I mean, it's looking very close between Paravian and MVL. MVL down 2 points, but I like his position here. The pin on the knight on f3 is just so unpleasant to deal with, and I don't believe in this sacrifice by Paravian.
I think it was more out of desperation of the way the game was trending, so I do respect it. I think now there might be some rook lift with rook e5, hopefully in the future, or at least that's what White is angling for. We'll see. Maybe queen d4.
Some trades have been taking place, but now the pawns on the queen side are a little vulnerable. Knight d5, nice move by MVL though.
Yeah, nice move to trade the queens potentially. No, MVL is insisting on a queen trade.
Oh, wow. And look at this. Hikaru is up 6-2, and he's taking another game up a piece, forcing a queen trade, and it's 7-2.
Man. This game is hard. Chess is hard. If you're playing with no time on your clock, it's even more difficult.
Chess is hard when you're playing against Hikaru.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Especially in bullet chess. So I think if you're Christopher, the first goal is not to get adopted. That would be my first goal.
Paravian totally turned the tables and got a piece back in a nice tactical skirmish, and now he's actually the one that's winning.
Right, but he's down to 8 seconds. I think his moves are pretty easy though. You park the king in f3, pre-move the pawns up. This should be enough. b4, b6, a7. Yeah, this is enough time to... Yeah, and he takes a 3-point lead.
Wow, that was a really, really nice defense there for a while. MVL fumbled the bag eventually, so it's gonna be tough sledding now to see if he's tilted or not. But I love this queen h5 business. Not easy to navigate. Paravian very smartly just gives the pawn back.
Yeah, I mean, this all might still be theory. As we said before the match, he is booked up. He knows his lines, and that's how he's able to play so quickly. f3 looks a little scary. Wait, maybe d4. He's got g6 always as an intermezzo.
Always, yeah. And the knight will come to g7 sometimes. No, trading the dark square bishops is a good choice as well. Trying to neutralize the 2 bishops advantage. MVL doesn't have much here.
I think Paravian is doing completely fine. White has the bishop pair, but the bishop pair is not that active, and he's got a lot of pressure on that pawn on d4.
Yeah, the d4 pawn is very loose. Although now I like the bishop on b3. There is some pressure on the d5 pawn. And wow, exchange sack.
Look at this. Bishop h6. He's just in time to go queen e7 and get the queens off. Although I think MVL is going to keep them on the board, and so he does.
Wow, really impressive stuff. Just to realize the moment that, basically White wasn't getting anywhere to sack the exchange seemed really impressive to me, just to even try it. But Paravian's defended really well, must be said.
Yep. We're in endgame now. Paravian up a pawn, up 6 seconds, and there goes another one. Oh, knight c5. That clinches another game. He's up by 4 now.
Wow, he is on fire. You saw Paravian actually shake his hand like he's maybe getting a little carpal tunnel there, moving so quickly. But here we go. We have a scotch now.
Right, yeah, there are some players that said that their hand gets too warm or too hot, so they just have to shake.
That'll probably be our first and last Taylor Swift reference of today, but we we managed to get one in, I guess. All right, so
Wait, was that a Taylor Swift? I didn't. Wait, what was the Taylor Swift reference?
Shake It Off, Shake It Off. That's a
Oh,
classic Taylor
yeah.
Swift song there. Here we go. Anyway, I'm a little bit surprised to see MVL play 1e5, actually. Like, I did not expect to see that at all, and especially in Bullet, but maybe he's trying to
I don't remember the last time I've ever seen him play e5, but this looks unpleasant. Paravian up a pawn here, active position. If he wins again, it's going to be 5. And it's still early, but you don't want the gap to be too big.
Yeah, no, I don't think this is pleasant at all. And actually, this pawn is just going to march home. b6, rook b7, rook c7 as well. Yeah, this is... You can even trade the rooks now.
I think you just lose these. In a bullet game, yeah, you don't hold these types of positions. I mean, the king is just walking up now. I mean, this looks hopeless. Bishop e3, king e6. It's going to be 5 points.
And the technique is impressive. Gives up. Wow. Gives up his last pawn because he gets the king far enough to make a mating net. That is extremely impressive.
So great stuff so far by Paravian, up 5 points in the match. Let's check in the match between Jospim and Sevian. We see that Sevian has a lead there by 3 points, but Jospim is capable of a comeback. Let's see if we can pull that game up. Oh, here we go. All right. Jose down a pawn, and there. Okay, but the b3 pawn is going to fall.
Yeah, I don't like this. This knight on f6 looks very menacing, though. I'm very concerned about some h4, h5, or rook h4 business. Jose preempts that with rook h8, but I still kind of like white's position more, practically.
Yeah, just trade rook b1, and black's king is feeling so airy on g7. It's going to take you more time to defend. Rook h4 maybe is annoying now, because g3, nah, also down
now
on time.
Rook h4, yeah. Now king g2, okay, king g2 maybe?
Okay, I don't see the window. Maybe rook f8. Okay, take the pawn on d4. King e4, there goes the king. King takes e5. Oh, but the king is still very weak in the middle.
How is this king survived? How is this king survived? How is this king not mated yet? That was
No, 93, there goes the rook. Does he have enough time to finish it off, though? He's down to 8 seconds against 16. I don't know. Oh, there goes the knight. Sevian hanging in there. I don't think it's gonna be enough.
Yeah, not enough time. 4 seconds.
Or wait, there goes the knight. There goes the knight. There goes the rook as well. He can get the pawn. Well, at least he saves the draw.
Check. Okay. All right, good. Okay. All right, at least didn't lose that one. But yeah, still a 3-point gap. Jose has to make some more magic here, and I don't know if this is the position to do it. This just looks like a really nice Carlsbad / exchange Caro-Kann structure for black.
Yeah, this looks like a really nice Caro-Kann, as you pointed out. The knight on c3 is just misplaced. And we see Sevian repeating the position here. I mean, he's happy with his draw. He's up 3 points in the match. There's 10 minutes on the clock. So logically, Jose declines the repetition.
Yeah, if you could pick up that knight on c3 and put it almost anywhere else in the third rank, you'd prefer it. It's just crazy. Although this c2 pawn is also loose now. So now black's pressuring that one.
Queen g6, fantastic move. Hitting h3 and c2. But now Jose sacrifices a pawn to activate his knight. D4
now rook e3. Now rook e3, rook g3 might be a thing, actually.
Oh, knight d5 he had. If you take then
knight d5 and then rook e8.
So that's why Sevian was quick to play h6. Bishop c2. The bishop is a little awkward now.
Yeah, I don't love that maneuver. It's time to advance. f4, h4. Something now for white.
Okay, trades the queens, but the bishop on b3 feels a little off. He wants to go b5, b4. Great play on the queen side.
g5.
There goes b2. Just take on b2, and the a pawn is just so strong.
Yeah, b2. Sam is insisting on a rook trade. That rook has nowhere to go, and a3 is coming.
This is going to be another win for Sam. Yeah, I don't see what you do here. And there we go. 4-point lead for Sam Sevian.
Wow, Sam has definitely shown me something today. e4, a5.
Jospim on tilt. That is tilt.
Yeah, a5, a4, a3 in the first few moves. Got a playable position, though.
It looks very playable. There he goes, h5, which I think, and g5. Wow, Jospim really shaking off some tilt here.
Yeah, and sometimes it's like that. You just need to just play some moves, objectivity be damned, and see where it goes. This is a piece stack that's going to be dangerous, though. Oh, I'm surprised he took with that knight. I thought there was going to be a d5 break if took with the other knight.
Right,
d5?
but this looks difficult. Or queen a2, maybe you take it to queen, and I think
For sure.
Charles, knight a4, queen c1, knight d3, and you win a lot of material. This should be a win for Jose.
Yeah, and he's got the time edge as well, so
93,
hopefully he
yep.
can convert this one. 93, knight takes e1 is available as well now. Not pretty.
Yeah, Savion playing it on because he's leading in the match. Completely fair strategy, but he is down a rook and a knight. That's a lot of material, and down 20 seconds.
Meanwhile, Hikaru has widened the gap. He's up 10-3, just to give you guys an update there. And actually, this match here that we're looking at is the closest one we have, I think. It's 4 points. So, yeah, the favorites are doing their thing.
Wow, and I mean, I predicted that Paravian would win, but I did not expect him to have a 6-point lead over MVL. I mean, that one is almost mathematically over.
Yeah, and why is it mathematically over? Because there are 8 minutes left, or just about 8 minutes left on the match clock. Again, each side has a minute. You can stall out at some point if you have such a huge lead. Jose has narrowed it to 3 points, and yeah, he's got more work to do.
I don't understand that he goes for the same opening. It just looks miserable with the knight on c3. Looks extremely comfortable for black. So I like Savion's position here once again. Well, and there we go. He finally moves the knight to play c3.
Yeah, the only argument for the knight on c3, and I'm just making a half-part argument, is that you are covering the e4 square early on, but it doesn't really matter. And it's so you could see time and time again him having to reposition the knight on c3. There is something to play for on the e-file, and that's why Sam went for the e5 break.
Yeah, Hikaru has been dominating in his match, but fortunately for Christopher Yu, it seems like he is taking this game. Although, against Hikaru, it really is not over until it's over, and it seems like Hikaru might be escaping here.
Insane. It just... The Houdini acts really are just remarkable. I mean, you don't expect this. Yeah, and it's still a repetition, even with 2 queens. Even with 2 queens, it's not over.
Let's see. Hikaru might deviate. Nah, it's just going to be a draw. Anyway, let's shift our focus back to this one. I like what Jose is doing. He's got the pawns on g4 and f3, but this king is a little airy.
Knight to f5,
yeah,
please. I like knights on f5.
Good move. He's doing great now. I think he's forcing a queen trade, and the endgame looks miserable for black. Oh, knight takes f3, but king g2. I don't think it works.
Yeah, no other checks.
Knight f4, rook e2, blocking everything. Okay, queen f5, yeah. Knight, okay.
Knight h3.
Knight e4 looks annoying, but it's a full piece. Knight takes e4.
Yeah.
Queen e3 first. Sam hanging in there, though. This is still annoying to finish off.
Oh, rook f5 is so annoying. King f3?
Knight h3. Oh, there goes the queen. There goes the queen. Oh, yeah. Okay, and it's down to 2 points.
Knight g5, mate. Knight g5, double discovery, mate.
Wow.
That's sick. 2 points. Jose's battling back, and now none of that a5, a4 business. The tilt is over, and he's going for a pure winner with king f8.
I don't remember Jose as a French player, so I don't think he's too familiar with these types of positions, and I don't really like it. I think Sam has got a great attacking position here. F4 or 5 is now going to come. You don't want to play the bullet.
Actually, I really don't like it for bullet at all. This is the breakthrough is pending. I mean, this is terrible. 97, rook f takes f7.
Bishop h6 maybe, but then 97 he wants.
Yeah, just moving the queen out the way. Okay, some stabilization with knight d8, stabilizing somewhat. This is an improvement for sure.
Rook a6, the classic 6th rook defense, but Sam is piling up the pressure along the f-file, and the bishop on a4 is just completely stuck.
Yeah, totally out of play. And g6, wow. Okay, now black has something to say on the g-file. These doubled rooks, the knight might come to e6. There's h5 sometimes. Jose is kind of stabilized a little bit, and you see Sam is like, wait, why is this game still going on?
Sam took a lot of time there. I think he's... Oh, there goes the bishop. Just take it.
Rook takes g3.
Well, Jose doesn't take it, but look at the clock. I think the time situation is too. What's going on? Does Sam have some lag?
I don't know.
He's lagging.
He's very unhappy with what has transpired, and he's down 20 seconds.
Well, I think he's going to lose on time. You got to feel for Sam. He was crushing it in this match, but I think he was lagging in this game, and so Jose is now only down by 1 point.
Wow. So, folks, Jose was down 4 points like 3 minutes ago, or excuse me, 5 minutes ago, and now he's down 1 point again. You have to win by 2. So even if this is the status quo the rest of the match, a 1 point lead would take it to overtime.
Why does Jose keep playing the Caro-Kann with his knight on c3? I don't like it at all. Okay, I think this is fine. The knight on c3 is no longer there. He's got the bishop pair. It seems, though, that Savian has a good connection again.
Yeah, and again, you're asking the right questions. What is the deal with this knight to c3 Caro-Kann? It's not good, folks. It's bad. That being said, he does have an Islani to play against. That is something. The h-pawn might be a little weak. Rook h8 now. It's the right moment. Might just invade on the h-pawn. f4 is a really ugly move.
All right, rook e3 hitting the knight, queen f2. He's sacking the pawn on c3. Let's see if Savian will take it. But f5 is going for the attack. Queen e3. Nice move by Savian to force a queen trade.
Yeah, and
he takes his
basically, it's just the attack is being extinguished. There's no attack here. This knight on g3 is a problem piece. And is it trapped? Not yet. G3 check, king e1.
Oh, h6 maybe he had, or king d2. The rook on c3 is a little stuck there.
My goodness, this king is like barricaded, and it's still actually fine. Knight takes e3, bishop d3.
Rook e6 is coming now. Jose is winning. He might win a 4th game in a row to tie it up.
And he is
Wait, is Sam disconnecting again? Oh no, I think. Oh, he resigns.
Wait, why would he resign if he was, shouldn't he waste some time there?
No, now it's even. Now the match is even.
Yeah, but given the trend of this match, I want to play defense on the clock and make it to an overtime. I'm not trying to play more games in this, in regulation.
Right. The other matches are decided, by the way. Hikaru has and Firouzja's won. It's going down to the wire here, Casa. It's all tied up. We have less than 2 minutes on the clock.
This is actually a very good French now for Martinez. I think with the queens off the board, it's a lot more playable. You don't have to worry about being checkmated. There's a nice knight on f5, although white still has a little something to be said with the queen side. There's an a5 break eventually.
Knight g2 to e3, great maneuver by Savian. Now rook h1, and the pawn on g7 is very difficult to protect. f4, f5. Great endgame play here by Savian.
h5, knight takes f4.
Maybe he should have just sacked the exchange. King f3, knight d5, Jose hanging in there. It still looks unpleasant. Rook g7, rook h7, but now Jose can go rook a5 and create counterplay.
For sure. Rook g8 as well.
Oh, there goes c4. That's a big pawn.
Now white is probably winning.
He wants to go rook c8 and checkmate.
Rook c8, rook e8 is checkmate. And if you push the f pawn, then rook h7 is mate. So you got to get a
tough for Jose, and he's got no time. Check. Where's the mate, though? Okay, he wins another pawn. This should be when king f4, king g5.
Yeah, just walk that king to e6, and it's going to be a wrap. King e6.
This is too easy to play. Yeah, king e6, you push the pawns. Oh, but there goes the b pawn. Oh, no, that's it. Yep. Okay, so Savian wins a game. We still have time on the clock. However, if Savian wins this game, he wins the match.
Yeah, and again, the knight to c3 Caro-Kann. My eyes hurt. I can't keep seeing this. We can't keep seeing this.
Okay, now I can look again. The knight is gone from the c3 square, but very comfortable position here for Savian.
For sure.
Yeah, very comfortable car spot. Structure.
All right, the knight now is getting to d3. That is a dream square for the knight in the Carlsbad structure. So a3, knight d3, f3. This knight will be kicked.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is now fine for Jose.
Yeah.
Now you start to push on the king side. G3, h5, king g2. All right, I think he's in his element now.
Yeah, he's doubling up on the e file, maybe h5 at the right moment.
Knight f4, knight h5. Knight h5, queen g4 is creating some attacking chances. Right, no, go the other way.
Keeping the tension. G4, okay, we see a trade.
I don't like the queen trade. Why trade the queens there? Or sorry, why trade the knights there?
I like Jose's position. The rook on b5 can get a little stuck though, but he's definitely better, and the time is even
for sure. King e4. Wait, winning king pawn endgames are
wow.
hard here.
There goes the c pawn, but then rook e5 perhaps, or rook e4. There goes h4, d6. The rook on b5 is still so stuck.
It's easier to play black here. It's way easier to play black here. H5, h4 is coming.
Yeah, he's got 2 passers on the queen side though. No, I think this is easier for Sam, as you said. Oh, maybe a check should have been. Oh, rook a7 maybe. Oh, rook c6.
What's going on? This rook is kind of stuck.
Check and take, but then rook h5.
Then rook h5. Rook behind the pawn. Rook g1. Whoa!
h7. He's winning now.
H7.
And he should have enough time to finish it off. Rook takes h3. That was not the move, but
no.
He's still on time. Don't trade. No! Oh, he was down on time. I thought he was up on time.
All right, we gotta breathe. We gotta just take a little breather here. We're going to overtime. Again, it's just a 1-point lead, so we are going to go to overtime. You have to get a 2-point lead to win the match. And so Jose is going to play for his life right now. He cannot lose this game.
And we see a Maroczy bind. White is generally considered to be a little bit better here, but Black has a lot of easy moves. So Jose, generally speaking, feels comfortable in these positions.
Yeah, and the plans here are super standard with this bishop, rook to e8, bishop d8, bishop c7, h5, h4.
d5 is going to come now very soon.
I think he's got a good version of this position, actually. Although knight coming to c6 is annoying.
Yeah. I thought he was going to break with d5, but he delays it. And now Savion gets a firm grip on the position. This looks unpleasant for Black.
Yeah. Look at that queen on a8. It's just entombed by its own pieces.
He plays d5 now, but it feels way too late. And now he's got an isolated pawn there. But Jose, up on time. I think you can take that pawn.
Yeah, you can. I'll be very surprised if h4, h3 doesn't come at a convenient moment. A little bit of a mess in the center of the board.
Okay. 95. It feels easier to play this for Black. Black's pieces are jumping. Rook to d8 maybe. He's up like a couple seconds. Oh. Maybe you can take an e5 and take an f4, but looks scary because then a rook comes to d1. Sam takes.
H4. You gotta chuck in h4. H4, h3.
Right. Okay, keep the rooks on the board, and now rook d1. This looks difficult to play with white. I mean, now the dark stars are weak.
Yeah, h2 is
soft.
Knight g5, knight takes f3 in some positions.
It goes h4, but it feels... But look at the clock. Jose up 5 seconds. Or is this... Oh, take! No, wait. Oh, you can't take. Or, no, he actually could have taken, because he had rook e1 and rook g1 at the end. Oh, no. But the time...
Right, the knights can dance. The knights can dance.
But Sam has some easy pre-moves now. Oh, Jose might have hung his rook there.
He could have traded the rooks, actually, and it would have been a drawn ending. It's a wrong color. It's a wrong color corner. Wrong color corner, right? So the king could
Can
just
Jose flag him? I don't think so. No, Sam is just in time to trade a pawn off. Wow.
Whew. All right, still a 1 point lead, and Jose gets the white pieces. Please do not put your knight on c3.
Yes. Okay.
We have an advanced Caro now.
Yeah, I like this much better. Just don't put the knight on c3. Knight on b3. That is fine. Okay.
I'm surprised you normally get these a3 positions. Isn't the pawn just almost dropping? No. Okay, he took on g6 to hold it together.
I like this position for Jose. It's a typical Jostman position. He often gets these in blitz games. I'm feeling pretty good about his chances in this one. Maybe, okay,
queen f4, knight g5.
Yeah, maybe g4, h4. Again, these are the types of positions that Jose likes. He has some initiative, more active pieces, more space. He's usually good in these ones.
Yeah, rook h1, h5, trying to open up the h file. Rook d3 is a shocker to me. I'm really surprised by that decision, but looks pretty legit. How do you improve, though, if you're white? h5, the timing good on that? I don't know.
Rook f8, clever move by Savion, anticipating the trade. And now he goes f6, the computer. Oh, maybe you could have just taken. Oh, so
And now we have an end game here. This should be fine for Sam. This should be totally fine. The bishop, the e5 pawn is a little bit loose. There's no attack hitting home. The rook on e3 is clumsy.
Right, but look at the clock. Sevian down 12 seconds. This is looking tough, purely because of the time.
Yeah. And deciding to close the position, release tension. Rook, is the rook coming in? Rook c4. Is that rook coming in? Now you just have to bring your rook on h6 around. Rook h8, rook c8.
Right. Oh, there goes the b pawn. That's a big. Oh, the pawn gets to b6. That's good for Jose.
The time it's definitely changed. Jose does not have the time advantage he once had.
Yeah, there goes the b pawn. This is huge for Sam. I think he's got this. Oh, there goes the knight. No, that's it. That's it. And he's even up on time now. I don't think Jose is going to save this.
Few moves away from it just being winning this match for Sam. Rook
yeah,
h8.
he's queening the pawn. It's going to be checkmate any second now. And there we have it.
Wow. Sam Sevian clutching it up, getting the 2-point victory that he needed to get out of overtime. Jose valiantly fought back down 4 points, but in the end, we did have a winner, and it was Sam Sevian. Let's take a look at this bracket. We had 4 matches, and we have 4 winners. We had Hikaru in convincing fashion beat Christopher Yu. He's now going to be playing David Perovian. And we had Alireza Firouzja beating Vladimir Fedoseev. He is going to now be taking on Sam Sevian. And Sam did beat Jose Martinez in overtime. He now is going to be facing Firouzja. So very, very interesting stuff. And yeah, what do you think about this, Vedran?
Yeah, that was a crazy match between Sevian and Martinez. I thought that was going to be a close one, but I did not expect Perovian to just crush MVL. So Hikaru definitely the favorite in that one, but perhaps Perovian can put up a fight.
We'll find out shortly. We're going to go to a break, but coming up next, Hikaru versus Perovian, Sevian versus Firouzja. Stay with us.
The way I understand it, there are 2 spells. You can freeze a 3x3 area of the board, and then you can mark a piece that you can use to jump. So we're going to start with the Sicilian here. Now I'm threatening to take his pawn, because I could freeze his knight and then potentially take the pawn, but I'm out of the freeze, so I guess... Oh, and he froze my pawn. That's very smart. Okay.
I think that's how it works.
Okay, so that means I lost a piece here.
So can I jump through this piece? I don't understand. That jump I still need to figure out. Maybe that's on the other piece. Can this piece jump? No. That is the tricky one. It's the jumping thing.
So I'm down a minor piece. Wait, why did... No. Oh, James wants to jump over and attack g7, so I'm going to castle.
Can I jump through this? No.
He was attacking my pawn on g7 because the queen could have jumped over to take my pawn.
With this jump piece.
Oh, of course, he probably will play bishop h6, and then I'll have to play g6. Okay, but now he can set a jump on g6 and play queen g7 checkmate, I'm pretty sure. And I don't have my freeze, so I think if James figures it out, he mates me. Yeah, this is why I'm not good at variance. I'm good at chess. Okay, he missed it. I think he... Oh, and he froze me, so that's annoying.
Can I jump? What if I put it on his piece? I'm just curious to know. Do I bounce off of it or something? Like, what does this thing do? Oh, wait.
Okay, he gave up his queen for some reason.
Yeah.
What is he preparing to do?
Yeah.
No. He's going to take my queen. I guess we're done? Like, there's no more freezes? We're just playing chess? Okay, if we're playing chess, then I lose.
GG.
Nicely done, James.
Welcome back to the 2024 Bullet Chess Championship. We have our 4-time reigning Bullet Chess champion Hikaru Nakamura on screen and on stream, chilling. He just got through a really, really nice match against Christopher Yu. And Benjamin, he is the man to beat in this format.
Yeah, no, he truly is. It's hard to see who can stop him. I think Paravian will definitely be challenged, but Hikaru is just in a class of his own, so I do expect him to win that one. And then Firouzja against Savian. I think Firouzja definitely the favorite, but Savian impressed me in his match against Martinez.
Yeah, and again, if we just had that bracket on screen, Hikaru and David Paravian are vying to face Nihal in the winner semifinals, and Firouzja and Sam Sevian are vying to face Danya in the other side of the bracket in the winner semifinals. So, yeah, very interesting to see how this develops. I do think Paravian is gonna, give Hikaru a fight. Just from what I saw against MPL, that was extremely impressive. He was getting out of his breaks quickly. His openings were fire. He really surprised me, and my bad. I'm now fully familiar with your bullet game, David Paravian. I'm putting some respect on your name. So what's your take on the other match, Benjamin?
Yeah, no, Paravian is a beast, but I do think that Firouzja should be favored against Savian, but it's not going to be a walk in the park. Savian was very convincing against Martinez, but I still have to give the edge to Firouzja.
Yeah, I think I do as well. Although I think it'll be important for Sam Sevian to get off to a good start, because I do know just from previous experience and instances, I do think Firouzja is a little bit more prone to tilt than some other players, and so I think if he's challenged early on, you might see that tilt factor set in.
Yeah, no, for sure. And one thing that could be in so Paravian, he always likes to prepare, and I'm sure he did some preparation for MVL. That's why at some point MVL had to switch up his openings, and then things went even worse. For this match, however, I doubt that Paravian was able to get in any preparation, as there's only like 5 minutes in between the matches.
Yeah, and Hikaru is known for playing a lot of this knight f3, b3, knight f3, e3 stuff. How does Paravian attack that? That's a question I'm really looking forward to getting the answer on, because Christopher Yu did not solve that problem fundamentally, and it allowed Hikaru to play at blistering speed, get those large time advantages we know he likes to get by move 20. And that definitely cannot happen if Paravian wants to win this match.
Yeah, I think Paravian will try to do something aggressive. He likes to get into an attacking position early on. And with white, I'm sure that Paravian is just going to go all out against Hikaru's modern defense. But that being said, I think Hikaru will stick to the modern. It's an opening he always plays in Blitz and Bullet, so he's familiar with all the different plans and ideas and all of the different structures.
Yeah, and he tends to play this modern in like a Caro-Kann type of style. It's the Gurganitsa system with c6, d5. I don't actually see him play the pure version of it, where you put the pawn on d6 so much. So yeah, maybe he'll go for those like Caro-Kann modern hybrid setups.
Yeah, as we are speaking, the players are getting ready, so I assume we should be getting underway any second. Now, Hikaru's got a nice setup. He's flexing his two YouTube buttons he got. He's got a nice pineapple there, some other nice trophies. I mean, he's had an illustrious career, so he's got quite a bit of flex.
No question about it, and it's not over. The man is adding to his resume. I got word just a little while ago, we had 30 seconds left. It's probably about 15 to 20 now, and Hikaru has left his chair momentarily. We'll see if he gets back in time for move 1.
I was wondering about this. How much time do you think someone like Hikaru can give up and still be a favorite against a player like Danya? Like, do you think, how many seconds do you think?
Man, I'm going to just defer to you there, because frankly, I don't know. I mean, maybe 20 seconds? Is that too much? 15, somewhere in the 15 to 20 range? I just don't know. Maybe I don't have enough of a read on that, Benjamin, so I defer to you.
I think, honestly, 15 to 20 seconds is a little too much, because also, as we said earlier, one of Hikaru's strengths is building up a lead on the clock early on. Anyway, we are off. We see an early Queen's Gambit, and it's kind of funny. Hikaru and Paravian played last year in the Qatar Masters, and they had the exact same opening in classical chess.
Yeah, this is the semi-terrace for folks that are wondering. And this h4, h5 line is very dangerous. Very, very nice attacking position. It seems like Pravian knows how to deal with it. He's basically blocked the bishop's diagonal on d3, and knight c5 is a very interesting move, trying to get into e4 and trade some more pieces.
Knight h4 by Hikaru. He's trying to get into the g6 square. Perhaps what he should have done is taken on c5 first, and then knight h4, but still looks kind of unpleasant for black. Maybe queen d5, though. Bishop b4 instead was played.
I love the bishop on e4. Just a nice anchor in the position. There's no checkmate here as long as that bishop's on e4, and you can even get rid of this knight. This is a huge opening victory thus far, I think, for David.
Yeah, g4 here looks like a good move. You're just keeping the knight trapped. You want to capture the pawn on h5 next. I'm a little surprised by Hikaru's opening approach. I think he should switch back to his knight f3, b3 system. In the meantime, wait, I think Pravian's just winning. King g4, check, king f3.
This is insanely impressive. This king on h6 was vulnerable to discovery checks. Instead of going backward, it went to h5, to g4, to f3, and rook e3 is a mate threat. Defend that mate threat. Yeah, black is totally fine. And more than fine.
Black is just winning, but can he finish it off with 13 seconds against 17? I mean, against any other player, I'd say yes, but it's never over until it's over against Hikaru.
Yeah, and this e6 pawn is annoying. This is
a
win,
to finish
but
off
hard.
with the time, though.
Yeah.
There goes the rook. Yeah, okay, that's going to be a win for Pravian. So early lead for him.
And let's focus on this Pravian Hikaru matchup a little bit more, because this is the one to look. If Pravian gets a good start and Hikaru has to start essentially, shifting his style a little bit, that's something that might play into Pravian's favor. So I love the way he started. This is a exchange Caro-Kann type of structure, but with the exchange on f5. So now there's an open G black rooks. Dangerous position.
This looks super dangerous. Queen h4, great move, hitting h3, which just looks very difficult to defend. I think Hikaru just had to warm up a little bit. Now we see, him finding his footing. He's taking on f2. He's got a massive lead on the clock. He's gonna win this game.
Knight d3 as well. Knight takes b2 is an option. You can even be a bit more patient. Yeah, I think the patient approach makes a lot of sense. Tough position to hold.
I mean, he's only down one pawn, but the position. Oh, knight g3 there. That's a bit too much.
We spoke too soon. And yeah, this is one that, you lose it eventually. The e5 pawn goes h4. Look at that. Knight takes g3. F takes g3 is a nasty fork, so you can't take the rook. And rook f5 pinning to ensure there will be more trades. The rooks will come off the board, and that'll be all she wrote.
Yeah, nice win there for Hikaru to even up the score. In the meantime, Firouzja has a 1-point lead over Sevian, but Sevian is about to even it up there as well.
Yeah, these are close matches now. Definitely in the early going, but both sides have gotten on the board, which you love to see. Yep. And we do have the next games underway. So there we are. We have Hikaru playing some type of reversed, I wanted to call it a Benoni pawn structure, but there's no, it's similar to Benoni, although I like what Pravian is doing again. Pravian is not having opening troubles, and I think that's one of the things you can just see from the games thus far. Knight takes e5, queen takes b5, isn't that a double attack? No, bishop takes d4, covers everything.
All right, f4, anchoring in the knight in the middle of the board. I really like Hikaru's position now, and there's starting to be some threats now towards black. Knight takes g6, queen h3.
Oh my gosh.
Queen h3, that's
beautiful. Made. Yeah.
All right, and Hikaru takes the lead. Yeah, Pravian was doing well, but as soon as the e5 and d4 collapsed, just became way too easy for Hikaru to play.
Yeah, Pravian's now got to adjust, got to throw some water in his face and get back to it. And here we go. We have this Gurganitsa system, this, it's kind of like this Caro-Kann with the fianchetto. White is definitely fine here. Hikaru's played these positions so much, though, that he really does know how to navigate them well. And okay, this is a position that I think is a 2 results game for White. Very, very nice play.
Yeah, this looks very pleasant for Paravian. Hikaru really stuck here. I don't see any good moves. King f3 or rook e8, that's a nice one. Maybe trade, but how do you attack the weaknesses exactly? Like, how do you convert this?
Yeah, rook e8 I didn't like. Now white will get active.
Yeah, okay. Hikaru getting some pawns in return.
Hikaru will hold this easily, actually.
Well, I think he will actually push for the win. I think he will get 3.5 versus 3, which is objectively a draw. But if he can go f5, trade off the pawn, he's got now 3 versus 2.
Yeah, this is a I would play g takes f5 now. It's not going to get better. Okay, that's also a nice way to keep it together. Isn't it, question for you, isn't it easier to shuffle with the rook instead of the king on the third rank here?
Good question. I mean, yeah, I'm not a bullet expert, so okay, I like what Hikaru's doing here. He's locking in the king and the rook, and now he's bringing his king all the way around.
Oh no, this is going to be way too difficult to hold.
Yeah, I don't think he will manage, and yeah, there we go. It's already lost. Yeah, rook takes f4, and that's it. That's another game for Hikaru. Rook f3, game over. Yep, 3-1.
Yeah. Wow, and just like that, this tilt can become very real. So, just got to stem the tide here.
Okay, we have another b3 system by Hikaru, but I think Paravian is doing very fine here. Maybe a queen trade. He's got this slightly better pawn structure. The pawn on c4 is a little weak, but white's got active pieces.
Right, c5 is a radical way to sort of solve that weakness. Look at the d6 square. I still like black's position. Very, very healthy, although the knight on h6 now is not a good piece.
No. Yeah, rook d7, hitting b7, setting up tricks with knight d6.
I think you go rook d8 and then rook b8, actually, and you try to trade the rooks that way. Yeah, and you're a pawn down, but you have a lot of activity.
But look at the knight on e4. It cannot be dislodged because the pawn on e4. I like what Hikaru is doing here.
Yeah, no, I didn't like f5. Now the knight is just cemento, as Peter Lico would say. And now that, it's going to be really tough. This rook on h4 is in no man's land.
Does this work? Bishop g5, nice, fine. After takes, there's knight f3. I think Paravian is losing a piece here. Yeah, no, this doesn't work.
And the knight on c3 will move after that.
Bishop d6, no, this is going to be another game for Hikaru. And there goes the rook as well. Yeah, this is way too much. Yep. It's a 3.
When it rains, it pours. Now, in the meantime, it must be said, Sam is 5 pawns up and delivering checkmate now. So he has evened the score in his match versus Alireza. And yeah, we got some good matches here.
I'm really impressed by Sam. I'm not sure if this is his debut in the Bullet Chess Championship, but he defeated Martinez, which is a bullet specialist, and now he's tied with Firouzja. So I'm really impressed by his play.
Yeah. All right. What do we have here? What is Paravian making some inroads here? There's some knight g5 dynamics. Do not trade those queens. You have to try and keep the queens on here. Maybe something like queen e3. No, he trades the queens.
7 now. Hitting a7 looks like a nice move. Oh, rook e1 is not good. e3 by Hikaru. Okay, I think he just gave up a pawn. Oh, rook e5. There he is, forking the bishop and the knight, and he finds it.
Jeez. To find these geometrical themes so quickly is so impressive.
Wow, rook c1, nice move by David. Hikaru took the bishop, and now there was knight e4. And so David is still in this one. Okay, you take on c6, but a5, it's still unpleasant.
This a-pawn is going to run down the board, and that bishop controls the queening square. It's going to be very hard to hold this.
Yeah, because black is going to go a3, bishop b2. Knight d2 is going to go knight to c4. So I expect something like rook c8, and there we have it by Hikaru, rook c3.
Yeah. And, yeah, okay, here we go. We have rook takes c4 maybe at some point. Might be an interesting way to go, but this rook is trapped on b2. Okay, the rooks are really compromised here. Wow. All right. Now the a-pawn is gone, but this king on b7 is in no man's land. And is there going to be enough time for Hikaru? He's down 6 seconds. He's down on time. And there was a draw just in the nick of time there. Just in the nick of time, there's a draw. And now that we're back to B3 knight of 3 systems, we're back to these B3 knight of 3 systems. These F6 line has been working out really nicely for David, but he hasn't been able to put it all together, and that's why he's 3 points down. There might be a sacrifice in the center. Knight takes d4. Look at that rook on e1, hitting the bishop on e6, so that was immune from capture. And Pravian is a nice bishop. He is the 2 bishops. He has the rooks connected already. But Hikaru is about to make some inroads on the queen side, maybe some b4, b5 business. And yep, that's on the board. And okay, look at that king, though. That king on b8 is super airy. Knight b5 is pinned. a4 covers it. Rook takes d2 is a problem. Queen takes f2. Queen takes g2 is mate. And there we have it. Pravian did actually edge it out. It is now a 2-point deficit, and my man Benjamin is back. How you doing?
Yeah, I disconnected there for a second. My apologies, everyone. But yeah, great to see Pravian striking back, and now it's only a 2-point lead for Hikaru. In the meantime, Sevian and Firouzja are all tied up, and it seems like Sevian is about to take the lead in that one.
And look at knight d4. We have to look at that tactic. Knight d4, knight c5. David is maybe going to make it a 1-point deficit in a moment. He is totally winning here. He's up in is he up? No, he's not up in exchange. He's up a full rook. He's got to win this one. Still messy, though. Hikaru's putting on tremendous pressure. G5. G5. Okay, the bishop on f4 is hit. There are a lot of pins here. The bishop moves away. Queen f3, trying to give some reinforcements to that airy king on g1. And how did Hikaru make this the mess it is? A rook down. Who the heck knows? But there is a massive time differential as well. Pravian is 20 seconds to Hikaru's 33 and is just holding on for dear life, but still up a rook. Oh, queen on h1 looks ugly. And it's a game again. This king on g1 is totally naked. Knight takes f2 is coming. The queens can be traded, but why would you even do that? This rook on f1 is so airy. Queen takes b2, king g1, queen e5. Ugh, this knight on b3, how does it even get in the game? It's no man's land. And somehow, David has sniffed an endgame, but he's now lost another piece. And this one, he's elected to resign. David actually elected to resign there, I think, because he thought that he couldn't hold that 3 pawns down endgame. It might have been objectively holdable, but practically it would have cut a lot of time on the clock. So 3 points down once again, and yeah, this is a critical moment. And bishop takes d5, missing the knight f6 check fork means that this is everything must go sail. The rook in the corner is hit. Oh my gosh, the king on c8 is super weak. There are pins galore. Knight g3 is incoming. Yep, and Hikaru plays it because that rook has nowhere to go. That also covers the queen on e6 because the bishop on b2 is sniping. So you're going to take that rook, be an exchange up, and look at those open files for the rooks. Those are open files. This is like a 7-Eleven. It is open. Those files are open. C, D files are open. The rook is coming in. The time advantage, again, Hikaru's up 10 seconds on the clock. It's just, yeah, my man David, he's at the mercy of Hikaru right now. And that h-pawn's going to march down the yellow brick road. h6, h7, knight f5 maybe. No. Rook maybe coming to g4. And that's another game for Hikaru. This is getting a little bit ugly, folks, but there's still a lot of time to make up this deficit. Hikaru's now in a bit of a flow state, and yeah, somehow David has got to change the momentum here. How will he do it? We're going to find out. So, rooks get traded. Okay, Hikaru gets the A-pawn for free. You can't give up free things. This is not a charity. Okay, so there is some maybe potential. Maybe this knight on f3 spins around somewhere. Maybe the king can get somewhere. So knight e1, knight d3. The knight needs to spin, maybe to c5, maybe to f4 in some circumstances. But knight d3, knight c5, trying to get somewhere where it can do something. Take that pawn on a4. No. Okay. Are you going to take it out? Good. White has a little something to play for here. A little something. Now, h5, h4 is really clever from Hikaru, essentially fixing White's pawn structure, so it's hard for White to make progress on that side. Needs to try and get at that king with the knight, but Black has taken up a lot of space. So I think Hikaru is actually going to hold this also. And it must be said, his defensive skills are just incredible, because anyone that has this had the potential of being a good knight, bad bishop position, but by carving out that real estate on the king side, it didn't. And now queen e1, queen g3 is a repetition. There's also h3, and Hikaru is doing his patented stalling here because he knows he can afford to do that. So he's wasting time. He has a repetition if he wants it, but he might just wind up repeating. So, and here we are back again. 4-point lead, Benjamin. The status quo has not changed. It's gotten worse. So impressive stuff from Hikaru.
Yeah, I think he actually ended up saving that game where he went down a rook. So yeah, tough match so far by Paravian, and I like what Hikaru is doing here. He's up a couple pawns, although Paravian has some compensation.
Yeah, the openings have not been the problem, frankly.
Is that a
Paravian's
piece?
had excellent positions, but yeah, the blunders sink in, and there's a little bit of till here, and that is a piece. Queen g3, but that's a little dangerous. f5, it's a little bit, it's weird, for sure.
Queen c3, nice move by Hikaru, and knight e2 is just trading everything off, and he is up a piece and a bunch of pawns.
Yeah. And this queen a1 is just trapped. Castles and knight d2. That queen a1 is totally lost.
Well, there's still knight d3 to go queen b2, and now the queen can get out.
Oh, nice resource. Knight d3, queen b2. That was an excellent resource. And now it's a game again. Hold on. Maybe this is the momentum swing that he needed, because he desperately needed a dub, and he might get it.
Hikaru, okay, he goes knight c3, hitting the queen. Will Paravian trade the queens? Not. Oh, he hangs the queen.
No,
wow.
Knight takes e4.
That one hurts. Yeah, and Hikaru takes a 5-point lead. In the meantime, well, Savian is up by 4. What has happened in that one?
Yeah, maybe we should shift gears there, given that Paravian hasn't taken a game in a while. Yeah, very impressive play from Sam. Another great position. That e6 square is like chopped cheese. It's totally available to be taken advantage of at any moment, and this bishop pair is menacing. Wow. Are we going to see h4, h5 at some point? Probably tough to...
Or maybe a rook g5, because if you take, I feel like you get checkmated. Knight h4, take.
Oh, I think the rook trade just favors White here.
Right.
Now I'm going to try to play b4, b5 with the rook on b1 eventually, and I'm going to break through.
Yeah, great stuff here by Sam. Recapture with the rook. Okay, a5 is also a little weak, and there goes f4. Okay,
here we go.
In there.
That was a huge miss not taking on b7, because now you're not actually queening any of the pawns over there.
C takes d6, and now there goes f5. Okay, the h pawn drops. Rook d5, he wants the second go e7. That doesn't look easy to stop.
It doesn't. Maybe you go bishop b4, bishop a3. Yeah, there we go. Okay, all right, now the a pawn. What happened to the a pawn?
King b5. I think you're just pushing the pawn up.
a7.
Good move.
Rook d7, king a6, king b7.
Rook d8. Okay, and 3 seconds for Firouzja. This should be enough for Savian to finish it off. I mean, he's just going to win the time now.
Yeah,
wow, and a 5-point lead.
So we're getting close to the 10-minute mark. Benjamin, can you clear a 5-point deficit in 10 minutes? Does everything have to go perfectly?
Yes, but I think if Firouzja loses another game, then it starts getting into the territory of, it being mathematically impossible.
Yeah, and given the momentum here, it has to totally shift, and it just doesn't feel like that right now. So, man, now this is probably a nice position for Alireza right now. The knight has to go back to e8. There's potential to expand with f5, although, it's going to be hard to break through.
Very solid stuff by Sam, though. He goes f6, tucks his bishop in, and queen a4. But Alireza going all out on the attack here, although I don't really see how you create any meaningful threats.
I think you might try to go for e5 if the bishop moves. Oh, no, the e4 pawn was hanging. Yeah.
Sam is so solid here. Rook f7 attacking the knight. The knight has to jump back. Maybe you go like knight g6 and hope for something, but queen takes c4, I don't see it.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of real estate here to work with. Maybe rook e1 now, and you try to take advantage of the knight being on e8, just not being in the game. Tough.
Oh, this looks tough. Queen c4, rook d4, and you have to sack the queen, but black is still doing very fine there. Bishop c6. Maybe just a5. a5, a4. He goes d5 to go to knight d6 next.
Yeah, and okay, maybe there are some inroads here. Maybe you could try to play for some back rank business. Queen a7, queen takes d4.
Firouzja picks up the a pawn. That's important. Okay, but there's still okay. Rook d6. Black is so solid here.
Yeah, the bishop on g8. You're not breaking through.
Oh, we get made it. This
he
is
allowed,
the game
he allowed rook
Firouzja
d7.
needs.
He allowed rook d7.
Sam hanging in there though. I mean, he is
rook f6. Rook f6. Queen takes h6 at the right moment.
Oh, and there's no stalemate or anything, and now it's checkmate. Yep, very nice game by Firouzja, who cuts the deficit down to 4 games.
All right, so this is the one to focus on. We think Hikaru has this in the bag. We're just under 9 minutes, 6-point lead for Hikaru. Alireza needs some dubs, and this is not an easy position to play as black, I feel like, right now, because there's some pressure on the f-file, although he is spinning his knights around to nice outposts.
Yeah, nice position here for Sam. He's got some pressure along the f-file, knight c4. He's also up a couple seconds on the clock, so I like what he's doing here, but Firouzja trading down some pieces.
Yeah, I think these piece trades do help black's cause a little bit, given that there was so much pressure on the f-file. Now it's non-existent. Still tough to win. The d6 pawn is just a weakness.
Yeah, now the good thing for Firouzja is that white does have some double pawns, so maybe the endgame could favor here if he trades off more and more pieces, and that's what we see right now.
Yeah, I'm loving the chances. I think they're ballooning right now, and honestly, I would consider trading queens. I think the 3-on-2 is nice at some point. Although a7 is loose, I recognize that. I think Firouzja's handled this excellently.
Yeah, nice stuff there by Sam. Rook e4, learning king f8, and now rook takes h4, so now I can go rook h8 and rook a8. Will Sam hold this one? I think this is a big game for Firouzja. If he wins this one, I think he's very much alive, but a draw will go a long way for Sam.
I would have started with c4 there. Just push the pawns. No, not enough time. Not enough time.
I feel like this is a draw, like rook. Oh, but now it's a win.
Now
maybe.
g7.
Oh, g7. Wait.
He didn't go g7. It was takes and king g3.
All right, we might see a rook trade now. This is a draw. Let's see if any player can win here.
I
feel
black
like
has
it's
decent
easier to play for Firouzja.
Yeah. Not anymore.
No,
This pawn is too
now
far
it's easier
advanced.
for Sam. h7.
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting a lot of queens on the board here. Oh, wow, and he queens a check.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
It's again winning for black.
Is this checkmate? Queen f7. Queen f7 was winning. Queen f7 was made.
But how do you... Oh, he hangs the queen with check. And he
Oh
hangs
my
another
God.
one with check. What? Casa, in the last 5 moves...
It was like mate in 3 or mate in 4 with queen f7. Oh, my God.
Wow. That is insane. But instead he hung one queen, and then the move after he hung another one. That is incredible.
How often can you say I hung 2 queens in the same game? That's crazy.
I have no idea. And at this point, Savion being up 5 games with 6 minutes on the clock, Firouzja's got a very tall task ahead of him.
Yeah, I mean, it might be too much, honestly. I'm not seeing it. And look at this. More exchanges, more. This king on e3 is very exposed, and if anyone's going to win this game, it's going to be Sam. So this is it. This is going to be a 6-point advantage with basically less than 6 minutes to go. We're in virtual winner territory.
I don't see it happening for Firouzja. I mean, keep in mind that it is win by 2. So if he makes up 5 games, he is still fine. Well, he needs to win 4 games and then still have 1 second left on the match clock. But that's a tall task. I think it's too much task.
Sam could just stall, with the stalling mechanism
Right.
in place. You can't. It's virtually a wrap. This knight is coming to e4, and if anyone's better, it's white by a wide margin here. You double the rooks, you got pressure on d6. There's nothing nice to write home about in the black position here.
A very tough position. a5, breaking up the queenside, b takes c5. I think it's just collapsing for Firouzja. I mean, the king is also a little weak. take knight takes c5, or there's still rook d6.
Yeah, I wouldn't have released the tension there, but still a nice position for white. And okay, it's changing a little bit. This a-pawn might have something to say, but we'll see. We'll see. Queen b6. There's some rook d6 ideas. We're back on the double screen, and you see here Hikaru has a 6-point lead in his match. So there's a 6-point lead in both matches here. And b7, queen 8. No, how do we break through here with Sam? How does Sam break through here?
I don't know, but he wins a pawn, and I don't see. Oh, that's it. Queen f8, knight f6.
Queen f8, knight f6. Yeah.
And if there was any doubt, I think that doubt is gone now. I mean, up 7 points, 4 minutes on the clock. Sam Sevian is going to move on to the winners' semis as well.
So impressive. I mean, really so impressive to show what he's shown today. I'm wondering if we're going to get any frisky setups now that both matches are more or less decided. Are we going to get some funny openings? Maybe a Bong Cloud here or a A3 there? Who knows?
I mean, maybe from Firouzja. Sevian is not really the type, because also keep in mind that he wants to keep practicing because the tournament is still ongoing. And I guess same thing for Firouzja. It's good practice for tomorrow.
For sure. And look at this king on f4. Is it going to march all the way to f6? It might. Yep. King e5, king f6. I love this king maneuver. It's like that famous Nigel Short game with the king got to king and queen checkmate. And all right. Whoa. Okay, so now the king is kind
of... but Sevian's got a draw here, but he's going for... Wait, but how do you... Oh, rook d2. That's a nice move. And if check, move to h7.
It's the only move. Rook df6 was a mate threat, folks. So rook d2 was the only move to hold.
Right. So Firouzja is probably going to take this one, but it's all a little too late. I mean, Sam has been playing a great match. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, he's even fighting out this one. Even this one isn't clear.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty clear on the clock. I mean, 5 seconds against 36 is a little too... Oh! No, but he's going to make it.
You see that? See that? See? So that's just the type of day it's been for Sam. Everything has kind of clicked. Even when he's in trouble, he's wriggling out of trouble, and he's taking his chances when he gets them. And look at this. Now he's castling queenside and really having some fun.
Yeah, I think Sevian forgot that he just didn't have the time to hang on to the last pawn because Black had his own pawn running down.
Yeah. And now now a piece up in another position, 45 seconds on the clock. What's not to like?
Yeah, no, great stuff by Hikaru. Hikaru up by 6. I mean, that's kind of expected, I guess, given his prowess in bullet. But Sam crushing it against Firouzja is not something I expected.
Not at all. And is knight d3, rook d4 mate? Because that's what it looks like on Sam's board.
We see actually Firouzja here taking his time, taking a sip of water. I wouldn't be surprised if he knows the match is lost, so he might not mind it.
And it's checkmate in two. Knight d3, rook d4, game over. And so he's like, you know what? There might not be this is I just need to recuperate here. I know it's a wrap. I just want one more game. And I think he's going to get his one more game with the white pieces. And I'm betting he does something untraditional here. He's going to do something weird in that last white game that he gets.
Yeah, let's see if we'll have a Bong Cloud or something like that. Like I said, he can still use this game, of course, for some good practice for tomorrow. And let's see it. Is he going to go king e2?
Nah. He's thinking. He's like, what am I going to do? How am I going to mix this up?
It's kind of funny. There's two ways to deal with disappointment. Some players, they go on tilt, blitz everything out, or play something like the Bong Cloud. Other people are just very dejected and just kind of sit there.
I don't think I've seen a match thus far where someone has sat there at the end, and he might. That's another approach. That's another approach. He is. He's electing to concede. This is resigning without resigning, I guess.
Yeah. Wow. Did not expect that. I thought, he's going to play one more game, but it's been a tough match for Firouzja. I mean, 12-4. That's such a dominant score by Sam.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's we did have the other game on the screen for a second. But look at Sam. Sam is stoic in victory or defeat. In this case, it's victory, and 13-4, advancing to the winner semifinals. Very, very impressive showing, and I mean, what more can be said? That the man came to play.
Yeah, great stuff by Sam. His match against Jose Martinez was very close, but he completely crushed Firouzja. I did not expect that at all.
Yeah. Let's take a look actually at that bracket now. Now that we got Hikaru and Sam moving along to the winners semifinals, who are they going to wind up facing? I believe we're going to have Hikaru playing Nihal, and we're going to have Sam playing Danya, and those are going to be incredible matchups. Nihal is super talented in his own right, going up against Hikaru. Danya, Sam Sevi, and I think before today we would have said Danya maybe would be a very, very clear favorite. I think now it's a little bit closer given the way Sam has played, Benjamin.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, before today I would definitely say Danya is a big favorite, but now, I mean, I give Savian a good chance as well. In the other match, I'm definitely going to give the edge to Hikaru, but Nihal is capable of causing an upset. Let's have a look at our losers bracket. We have in round number 1, we have Christopher Yu against MVL. We have Fabiano Caruana against Giri, Fedasave against Martinez, Prag against Ming. And we also have some players coming in round number 2 in the losers bracket, Casa.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of entertainment there. Of course, you need to lose 2 matches to be knocked out. We're going to have an interview with Sam Sevia next, but first we're going to go to break, and we'll be back shortly, so stay with us.
Recuerdo una vez que le gané a Firouzja y a Hikaru seguidos y al final ni cobré ese torneo porque perdí con tal y cual y no cobré séptimo, octavo, décimo, ¿no? Y hay torneos donde le gano a mucha gente que tiene menos elo que yo, seguido, me tocan buenos pareos y le gano a un Super GM al final o le empato y cobro y campeono y piensan que por ese torneo, pues, o sea, pues no sé, hice trampas porque no debería pasar eso, pero los resultados fueron lo normal, ¿no? En el papel debió pasar eso y la partida clave, la crítica, pues la jugué muy bien y consolidé esa buena performance, ¿no? Creo que en octubre gané los 2 Title Tuesdays un día y fue en esa fecha que se jugó el Grand Swiss, donde 100 grandes maestros andaban jugando el torneo Grand Swiss y en un torneo donde había casi ningún gran maestro fuerte, entre comillas. Enero creo que estuve casi todos los Title Tuesdays en Zoom. Me invitó Chess.com y pues estuve en Zoom con 2 cámaras y en 2 oportunidades cobré. En una quedé segundo, en una estuve a punto de campeonar y fallé rematar una partida porque tuve mucha presión. Y aún así, en Zoom tuve mejores resultados que fuera de Zoom. Entonces, un poco indignado que sea de los pocos que está acá, porque si van... A mí me gustaría que hagan eso, que pongan Zoom a todos, ¿no? Pero bueno, aún así yo les dije, yo puedo jugar en la Antártida, en los Alpes, desnudo, con 80 rayos X. Si un día me levanto bien y estoy jugando bien, voy a ganarlo, sea como sea al final. Hagan lo que hagan, o sea, y si me levanto un día mal y no estoy viendo nada, voy a perder con cualquiera al final, o sea, nadie va a confiar al final, la gente que no confía va a seguir desconfiando hasta que, pues, no sé, hasta que juegues, yo qué sé, desnudo, y ya ese sería el punto, ya, el fin, ¿no? O sea, ya si es que eso no se prueba, ya no hay nada que hacer, o sea, nunca va a haber confianza, ¿no?
Looking for new ways to enjoy chess? Check out our schedule of Chess.com community events today. Mondays, play Rapid Opening Roulette and expand your opening repertoire with a new opening each month. Tuesdays, compete against other Untitled players in Untitled Tuesday. Battle your way to the top in Arena Kings on Wednesdays. And finish the week off each Saturday with the blistering Community Bullet Brawl. All happening in the Community Club on Chess.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to the Bullet Chess Championship 2024, and I'm here with a man in the winner's circle, Sam Sevian. You had an incredible day. Congratulations, you played 2 incredible matches, one against Jose Martinez, and then another against Alireza. How do you feel after both of those matches?
Yeah, I definitely feel good. I mean, my internet's not really good right now, and I did lose a few matches due to Wi-Fi in the first match, but the second match was very crisp, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, so for folks, because I was looking in the background, we were talking off camera, and I was like, "You look like you're in a hotel room." You could tell the folks where are you playing from, and yeah, you just give us a sense of the scene where you are.
Yeah, so I'm in Jermuk, Armenia right now. I'm playing a very strong round-robin tournament. And yeah, I mean, everyone's on this floor, so people are probably preparing right now. It's not that simple.
Well, good luck in your classical event, obviously. Very, very different format today with Bullet. Was there any preparation that went into it? Was there an specific approach that you had to kind of face the Titans you're facing tonight?
Yeah, I don't do really opening preparation for Bullet. I try to play naturally in the opening, play stuff I know, don't get like off script too much. And yeah, I mean, both matches were really intense at the start.
Yeah, for sure. And you definitely had a close one with Jose. Do you know you're playing tomorrow? I know. I just want to make sure you know. You are playing Danya tomorrow. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Danya plays Bullet like all day, so he's very strong. But I mean, it should be an interesting match.
Do you think your approach will be different than it was today? Do you think you'll like switch it up a little bit, or do you think like if you play the way you played today, you're gonna see the same results?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how the match is going. Obviously, if it's going well, you just keep playing the way you are, and if you start tilting, which I did a bit in the first match, then you have to change a little bit up.
All right, I do have a few chat questions, so I'm gonna ask one from Zorakaya, who basically asked, do you play a lot of Bullet, and how come you've been kind of flying under the radar in this format? Because for some folks, you were a bit of an unknown, and you basically made yourself known today. So yeah, do you play a lot of Bullet?
I don't play Bullet like every week or every month, but there are times where I just play for hours on end. So I've never actually played the BCC before, so it's my first attempt this year.
Well, so far so good. Your whole run here, you basically went from the qualifiers to the bracket. What was that run like, kind of qualifying in a really unique way where you had to really prove your mettle throughout?
Yeah, I mean, the qualifier is really hard because you play in an arena, which is a completely different format, and you only have 2 chances of getting in. I managed to get 4th position in the arena, which got me into the winner's bracket, which I was really happy about. And yeah, since then it's just match play. May the best man win.
And last question for you, from the chosen one. How do you specifically prepare and improve your Bullet skills? Like, is there a mouse that you're rocking with? Is there a certain setup? Is there a certain pre-moving skills you have to get down? What's the approach like?
Yeah, so on Chess.com, obviously you can pre-move many moves, and you definitely need a good mouse for that. I got a much better mouse about a year and a half ago, so I improved my Blitz and Bullet after getting that mouse. And I mean, doing a lot of tactics, obviously. A lot of cheapos in Bullet.
A lot. You heard it here first. Even from a super strong grandmaster, there are a lot of cheapos to be had in Bullet. So, that gives, the audience out there a chance. Hey, if you work on your tactics, you get some cheapos in, even you can be pretty great. So anyway, Sam, thanks for playing in this event. Thanks for, taking this interview, and good luck in your matchup tomorrow against Danya, but also in your classical event in Armenia. So we'll look forward to watching you tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
All right, so just to take a look at the bracket here once again, we have Hikaru, who is going to be playing Nihal tomorrow, and we have Sam Sevian playing Danya Naroditsky. Benjamin, what's going on? Where are your thoughts on these matchups? It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, we had some great matchups today, but it feels like tomorrow the heavyweights are really facing off. Like I said, we have Hikaru against Nihal. I have to give the edge to Hikaru, but Nihal is definitely capable of putting up a fight. And like we said before, I felt, if you asked me before today, Danya against Sevian, I would say, Danya's gonna win, but Sevian has been so impressive today that I feel like he has a good chance. And let's not forget, everyone, we also have the losers bracket, so even the players that lost today still have a chance to come back tomorrow.
Yeah, and let's give folks a sense of what that schedule will be like tomorrow. So we will start with the losers round 1 first. That will be Christopher Yu versus Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. Incredible matchup in a losers bracket. Fabiano Caruana versus Anish Giri. This is crazy. Vladimir Fedosea versus Jospum, aka Jose Martinez. And Prague versus Minlay. This is just like incredible lineup of players. And then after that, we'll have the losers round 2, which is where Bortnik, Firouzja, Tang, and Pravian will be waiting. And then after we get those matches, we're going to have Naroditsky and Sevian and Hikaru versus Nihal. So it's going to be another marathon day tomorrow. And yeah, Benjamin, we're going to have a lot to stew over in those games.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, it's a bit of a pity that already tomorrow we have to say goodbye to some of the players in the Bullet Chess Championship. Again, it's a double elimination, but some players are already down to their last life. But I can only look forward to the great chess being played tomorrow, Kasan.
Yeah, and I think the really cool thing about this format is that you do get such frenetic chess, you do get the tactics, you get the cheapos, and you get these incredible moments of tilt and adversity and comebacks. And we even saw some overtime matches today, so I hope we see more tomorrow. It's been a pleasure. I'll leave you with the last word, Benjamin.
Well, thanks everyone for watching, and make sure to tune in tomorrow.
You heard it there first. Peace out, guys. Tune in tomorrow. We'll be with you.